Hello, good evening from the UK and good morning from sunny Australia. Welcome to West Ham Network. Back on Wednesday evening. Old School Hammers. Cieran, how are you, my mate?
Really good, sir. Really good. Weather's picked up a bit. Got a little bit warmer the last few days. Yesterday was fucking outrageous. It got to 37 degrees here.
Yeah.
And it was stinking. And when it gets to that, come the afternoon or early evening, there's a storm coming when it gets that hot. And it came. It was coming in sideways, guys. I was running around the house shutting windows. It was coming in sideways. Blowing the trees here were blowing fucking all over the place. Yeah, it went mental for about 40 minutes and then gone.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What? It blew over?
They didn't know, but they were bending, mate, the trees, especially the big bastard.
I'm saying that weather front just blew over.
Oh, it usually always does, geezer. These storms come in, sometimes only last 20 minutes, but they come in hard, It's like a little cell. But it always builds up after a really hot day. And it was hot yesterday. You could feel the humidity, the heat. It was stinking hot, mate. You didn't want to be out in the street. And so it usually follows that storm comes at the end of it.
Yeah, and it's been like fucking minus 50 here.
Is it a bit chilly, Sam?
Well, no, it's been very chilly, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
The other night it was -2 and that.
Oh, it's up there, is it? Yeah. Not my problem, but I was watching the boys on
that, you tosser.
I was watching the boys on the training field there. I'm going, thank fuck, I don't have to deal with that anymore. Yeah. I remember playing football over there.
While we're on the subject of the housekeeping, any croc or shark?
No, all quiet in the creeks and the oceans this week, sir. No, everyone's been safe as far as I know.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I haven't seen any reports.
Well, it only takes a couple of people to go within a few days of each other for the whole country to stand up and notice,
Yeah. But it's a weird one you say that, Budge, but nothing will change, right? Because people are not... Well, people are, but the majority of people that swim in the oceans here, right, you're surfers and locals and a load of tourists. They know there's sharks out there and it doesn't bother them. But not one of them would swim in a creek with a croc in it, right? Because like I say, shark attacks are quite rare, but they fucking happen, as we know, in recent weeks, don't we, with 2 fatalities. But people will swim with the sharks. It's as simple as that. They'll take the chance, but they wouldn't do it with a croc. They won't swim with a crocs because it's all over.
There are people that do get in them bloody creeks, you know what I mean? And you think
it's usually local people that know there isn't any crocs around that particular spot.
Right.
You'll usually find that it'd be unusual to have a croc there.
Is it just the salties that you have to contend with?
No.
Anyway,
they are the most dangerous, though, Budge. You know what I mean? They are the most dangerous, but they are more aggressive than the others. They're bigger than the others. So, but I wouldn't be fucking testing it out on the others either.
We've got 19 million comments already, so I suppose we better go for a few.
Oh my God!
Say a few hellos. No, it's not.
Randy.
Good evening, Randy. Thank you for joining us, mate. How are you all feeling at the moment with West Ham and the frustrations with the transfer activity?
Yeah.
And Sullivan's typical behaviour with what's transpired so far. We will get to that very shortly.
Yeah, we'll get to that, Randy.
We will. Good evening, Happy Amaret. Thank you for joining us. Budgie, Pike, Fraser, we're doomed. Good morning, Leslie. Oh, good evening, Leslie. I think it's morning. Yes, Happy. Hope your dad's well. Actually, I spoke to him the other day. Messaged him the other day. He seems to be in pretty good spirits. Good evening, Brendan. Thank you for joining, Bud. Currently on EDTV as well, are you? Fair enough. Leslie, sent email to CB Sport and have not answered. They are using different email now. They are anchors. Right. Brendan saying hello. Everyone, hello. Do you think we need to change, Randy? Asked Leslie. In the squad to overhaul completely. Would love your view as an intelligent chatter. Oh, steady on, Leslie. Come on. Anybody that tunes into this show regularly every week.
We don't want the intelligent ones. I think
Intelligence has got to be questionable, isn't it? Really, to be fair. Good evening, Phil. Thank you for joining us, mate. Mark, hi. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, that's
Happy saying it's all good in the hood. Mark, good evening to Brendan. A nice little assist for Freddie Potts tonight, apparently.
who's it?
Yeah. I understand he's on his way back.
Who's he? Is that Portsmouth, isn't he?
Yeah, I've been led to believe that he's on his way back. Good evening, usual. Thank you for joining, sir. As usual. I'm going to miss them ones. All right, it's 4-2 to PSG. City are 2-0 up. Finished up losing 4-2. Oh, mate, that's great. Oh, this is the Champions League we're talking about. They're currently 25th, City, and they're out as it stands.
Yeah, not looking good, is it?
Stuart, good evening to you, sir. He thinks that Potter can turn it around. Give him time and give him money. And let's make the London stage a fortress for teams to come to. Look, I agree completely with that, Stuart. We'll get onto that in a minute. Let's just see if there's anyone else in the chat that we've forgotten. Mr. Tiley, good evening, Steve. Thank you for joining, mate. It's his 60th today.
Happy 60th, Stevie.
Happy 60th, Stevie. Congratulations on joining the 60-plus group. Right, who else is in? Everyone else is just saying hello and happy birthdays, which is always nice. Mark wants to know if you got any good presents.
God, I can't remember last time I got one.
Oh, mate, they're on the songs again. Serif, good evening to you, sir.
Serif.
Stephen Langham.
Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen Langham. Good evening to you, Randy. Paul Smith. That's 2 assists in 2 games for Pop. Excellent. Good to hear. Right, okay, we've caught up with the chat. Right, so let's then talk about a little bit, Kieran, about how we think the Graham Potter era is going thus far, and some insight on how you feel that it might go over the next few months.
Look, I think it started positively that first 45 minutes against Villa.
Yeah,
we copped the 2 injuries, didn't we, to Somerville and Fulcroot. That changed the game. Really, it was a shame, but it was looking positive. And seeing Somerville on the right there, I thought he had a fantastic game, or 45 minutes of it. So it was a positive start. And then it was an enjoyable game, the Fulham game, wasn't it? It was, weren't perfect, mate, by any means. But we got over the line and we ended up banging 3 goals in. We pressed when we needed to press. We forced 2 mistakes out of them to get 2 goals in that. So it was positive.
Yeah.
Then you came to that Palace game. Now, it's very hard to judge Potter with the amount of injuries we've got. With Bowen missing. Now, Antonio's missing, if you want to go back that far. Antonio's missing. Bowen's missing. He's missing Somerville. Tadibo. It was a dire game, it was. It was horrible. It's very hard to judge a man when he hasn't got his full team to use.
It's hard to judge a man that's poking square pegs into round holes because he's got no choice. you know. And
yeah, I mean, like all of us, you could question a couple of his picks at the beginning, but I sort of questioned him putting Somerville out in the right against fucking Villa, and it worked a treat. So he's the man now.
It turned out to be a comfortable position for him. If you don't,
it was it was a surprising, very effective fucking position change for Somerville, and I went, wow, okay. Yeah. I mean, let's see a bit more of that. And like I said, I do believe I do think he's playing to the crowd a bit with the young lads throwing Orford in there in that game, but he is doing it. And we've seen with young, what's his name? The other boy. Oh, God, his name's gone out of my head now.
The young left back.
Yeah.
Kidding. Yeah.
Why is his name gone out of my head? That counts as he's I told you, I got it. Anyway, I think he's been a breath of fresh air. He's been really good at the bits he's seen on the pitch. Yeah. So look, the boys up against it. Ollie Scholes, how did that go out, mate? Well, look, Potter's up against it. He's firefighting at the moment, right, with the squad he's got and the players that hopefully they try and bring in. You know what I mean? Do you know, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? When we started buying all these players in, and all these so-called fucking pundits at TalkSport and everywhere else are telling us, oh, West Ham have won the fucking transfer thing. And now you look at it and go, did we? Did we? Because a lot of it's not looking that fucking good. All these so-called experts that know everything. Where are they now saying, yeah, we were wrong? They're not, no. They just carry on.
The same ones that were telling us that we should be careful what we wish for.
Yeah, they are the same crooks, geezer. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
There is some payback for them in the fact that Lopetegui really didn't do well, and we didn't like him. We didn't want him. We didn't want to keep him.
Well, we didn't want him, but they don't see it like that. They bunch. They believe that you just want to get rid of Moyes. Now look at you. They prefer that because they like giving it to West Ham supporters. But the fact is that we've got Potter now. Yeah. That there are shining lights in that transfer window. You know, Wan-Bissaka and Somerville for sure. Tadebo's still 50-50. We don't know whether he's going to be a good buy or not. Fulcru could have been a good buy, but probably never going to see it now. But it hasn't been great. Now you're looking at that team that he put out the other day. You think, Jesus Christ, we probably need 3 or 4 fucking more players in there. Yeah. You know, we need someone with legs in the middle.
Some have suggested we need to do what we did last summer and completely.
Yeah, it looks like we've had that step back, geezer.
Before we go any further, it's Stuart Burt's 43rd.
I know. Bloody hell.
Happy birthday to you, sir. I hope you have many, many more.
Stuart, happy birthday, mate. I wish I was fucking 43 again, I'll tell you. He's only 20 years younger, geezer, isn't he? Fucking wanker.
I know. So, yeah, I think you're right. And, you know, the fact that the squad has been decimated.
Thank you, Mark. Fucking went out there, all these goals.
Steve Palmer's in the house. Good evening, Steve. Experts are never wrong. They will always claim answering a different question.
Yeah. They're never wrong, mate. You're right, Steve. They're never wrong.
Good evening to you, Colin. He says, good morning, Cieran. You love it.
Yeah, you got that right.
Thanks, mate. Yeah. And, you got the last bit right as well. Lovely, wonderful gentleman.
Well, we got that far, but whatever.
I reckon we're all right, mate. You know. Randy's saying right now I can only see that the season is an extra pre-season for Potter, and he needs Macaulay to assist him for the massive rebuild into fixing the squad issues and try to rectify the situation. So basically,
Randy, I think you're right. I think that's how we have to look at the rest of the season, don't we? It's like a massive pre-season for Potter.
A firefighting season for Potter this season.
Yeah, and with 2 windows, even though this one's going to be a strike. It always is January, isn't it? It is. But he's got 2 windows to maybe sort out who he needs, who he wants to get rid of, who he wants to bring in. Yeah. He's got his boy now, that Macaulay. He's joining him, which is, been his sort of right-hand man for fucking about a decade or more. So, you know, it's be hard to judge Potter until next season. But what worries me is the next 4 or 5 games are quite tough. And it's good to see Bowen back on the grass, having a little run around. Yeah. So if we went on a 3 or 4 game losing run, Jesus, we'll be dragged into that fucking conversation of relegation.
We will.
And he doesn't need that shit on the back of his shoulders, you know. And then certain people will lose patience, and then you'll probably get a certain part of the fan base start to question whether this is a good sign or not. I think he could do without that. I think he could do with a free run to the rest of the season, but he still needs to put points on the board just to keep away. We only need about 10 point Skeezer to be safe. You know, I mean, it ain't going to be that hard, but he just could do with a winning a draw in the next sort of 6 games or 4 games, say, but just to calm that situation down and then start to build. You know, I mean, be good. You know, I mean, he's been unlucky not to have Bowen, hasn't he, to start his tenure, but that's life, isn't it? That's football.
Yeah. Good evening to Cookie Hammer, by the way. He's in the chat as well.
Hey, Cookie.
Stephen Langham says, Mark, I've heard that the deal for Banzuzi.
Banzuzi's of it. Is that Ezekiel Banzuzi?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
That could be, mate. I take much notice of it, mate, because, you know, every day it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off.
Until I see a picture of him holding up the shirt, mate.
Honestly. If I know he's going for a medical, I might talk about it.
Yeah, talking of holding up the shirt, today, did you see the training video from...
Yeah.
So I
just watched it before I came on here. I thought,
yeah.
They just
presented Creswell with a shirt with 300 on the back. And I thought, that's a bit cheeky. He's not even 40 yet. But anyway, so no, he's made 300 appearances now in the Premier League for West Ham.
Well, I don't know. Budge, you didn't sort of explain whether that's senior appearances or West Ham appearances. I don't know.
It could be senior. I'm not 100% certain.
Either, doesn't matter.
I can check it actually, mate. If I do this and then I put...
So, yeah, it was a good achievement. 300 is a lot, man, at a top level.
Yeah, oh, mate, yeah, definitely.
Because he's not hitting 400, guys, I'll tell you that.
Well, no, he's probably not, is he? Actually, he's made 302 appearances for West Ham.
Oh, right. It was a West Ham thing then, Budge.
Yeah, okay. So obviously that's 300 league appearances, mate. Got to be, isn't it? Surely.
No, it'd be all appearances, Gazer.
Yeah, I would think so. Do you know how many goals he's scored for West Ham?
Jeez, over 10 years, Gazer. He must have scored 10, surely.
He has scored 10.
Whoa! Fucking, I'm on it, sir. What a guess.
You are. Do you know what colour he's... No, anyway, let's not go into that. Didn't think it was off, just not advanced as being reported, says Mark. Are you an ITK, Mark? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cookie saying, everyone's saying 8-month pre-season, then have a meltdown when we lose.
Yeah, it's pointless.
And, you know, the thing is, the title of this show was Don't Panic, right?
That's it, don't panic, Mr. Mannering!
Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. And, you know, Mr. Mannering and Private Godfrey are probably not going to make an appearance tonight. But like you said, you know, you've got Pike and the other fella. We're all doomed. Yeah, but I mean, look, you know, we shouldn't be panicking. The fact is that Graham Potter has come in to do a job, right? And without the right tools for the job, it's going to be difficult for him, you know? And at the moment, I don't think he's got the right tools for the job in hand. I think there are 1 or 2 players that we need to move on, and maybe 4 or 5 that we need to bring in. I don't know specific names of players that we need to bring in, but we have to remember this is a January window. So we're not going to get what we need or expect or want. If we're lucky, we'll get 1 permanent and 1 loan signing in this window. If we're lucky, in my opinion. But I just hope the loan signing has the same kind of.
I've always said there's no point in knee jerking buying players as the knee jerk as a Philip. We need if you're really, there are players that he really wants and he can't quite get them here in the January. Save that. I don't want to bring it by someone else just for the sake of it, filling a space. We do need a striker though. I think we do, but we need a lot. But just not spunk all the money now if we've got much, because I don't think we've got that much at all.
Yeah,
I'd rather he did it in the summer.
The thing is that we don't know how much money he's got to play with in this window anyway. We've got quite a few players out on loan, and we may have to loan someone in to fill a gap, right? Let's hope it's a loan like Victor Moses or Jesse Lingard, and not a loan like
Phillips.
Yeah, let's hope that it's a successful loan. But the thing is, we are going to have to start loading up the squad a little bit. It's Steve says he's hopeful for Potter now with Macaulay. It's uphill for the near future. A lot of our fans are a bit fickle and will turn on a sixpence. That's very true.
Yeah, you always get that. I believe we need patience with him. Look, it's one of them, with Lopetegui, I weren't going to get excited about him or judge him to that 10th game, geezer, right? Yeah. For good or bad. The same with Potter. I can't fucking start jumping up and say, yeah, he's brilliant or whatever. I want to see 10 games to see what kind of structure he's building here. I'm not going to judge him till then. And even then, with the season this is going to be, we knew the season was basically fucked once we left Lopetegui in charge for that long. It was fucked. So now it's about just surviving the season, maybe get on the run. But with the injuries, I think he's got his hands tied behind his back, geezer. I really do. And
to a large degree, because, like I said, how much money are they going to give him? I mean, they've just spent 130 million in the last window. Okay, we brought some.
And when you think, we're not sure with this Todibo or not, right? It's going to work out, but we're obligated to buy him now. That's like 40 million fucking euros out of the budget next year already. So Potter knows he's got a fucking job on his hands, man. Yeah. He really has.
And to be fair to the man in question, Todibo, I think he's worth 40 million, providing.
I don't know. I ain't seen enough of him. Goes the
right coach with him, and Lopetegui was definitely not the right coach for him. I don't know who Graham Potter is. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of them work together. But it appears to me that Graham Potter is the sort of manager that will put his arm around certain players, or coach, will put his arm around certain players, he'll lift them. Do you know what I mean? And he will coach them.
I think that's the hope.
And he is like that. And, even Luis Guilherme looked reasonably happy in that training video earlier.
It's hard to know. Another one. It's hard to know whether that's a good buy or not.
Like he was on his way out of the door.
No, I don't think we can afford to lose anyone. I really don't. I don't see how we can send anyone out the door at the moment. Yeah. I think we need all hands on deck. Fuck it, go.
Yeah, Cookie's right. We need to chill. The manager's been in for less than a fortnight. Massive injury list and playing youth. How can anybody complain with that? Well, I get that. But, like someone said earlier, West Ham fans are a fickle breed. We are.
I think
We're a
all
fickle breed.
football fans are.
Yeah.
No, look, it's like this.
5 years ago. No, hang on,
If Potter had won all them 3 games, Geezer, I still wouldn't be banging it saying, wow, he's the Messiah, he's
no.
good. I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be like, no, hang on. All right, he's had a good bounce. Let's wait to see what progresses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think fans today, a lot of people just want success straight away. Want it now. Now.
5 years ago, a majority, I would say, of West Ham fans would be, let's just finish top half of the league. Let's just not be in a, relegation battle. Let's just finish top half. Now, I would say a similar majority are, we should be qualifying for Europe. We should be challenging for cups. We should be challenging for the league. Maybe. I mean, we're not there yet. We're nowhere near there yet.
No.
But
I think we should be, though. I mean, the money we spend, the size of the club we are, we should be a top table team. You know, I mean, it's simple as that. If teams like Brighton and Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth can rise, why can't we? We're bigger clubs than them, man. We should be up there with Nottingham Forest. Probably not Nottingham Forest at the moment because they're exceptional at the moment. But I watched that full game of that Bournemouth Newcastle. Fuck me, Bournemouth tore them to pieces, man. They were fantastic. Played great football too. Scored really good goals. Stuck 4 past.
While we're on the subject of Bournemouth, there is a player at Bournemouth I would love for us to get, and that's that Kluivert. Patrick Kluivert's son.
Yeah, he's doing well, man. Playing well.
He's so good. And, with the Premier League experience he's got, you're looking at, there's going to be a premium on him. You're looking at probably 50 million for him now. But what better 50 million would you spend on a striker at this current time?
We missed the boat on all these players, mate. We can't be getting these players once they've got their price up and got established. It's too late then, and they're looking for bigger things if they do move. So like Bournemouth, like Brighton, you need to get them before they become fucking expensive. That's where we need to be buying them, which we thought we had when Tim Steidten come in. This is what's going to happen, but it's not proving that way at all, is it?
Yeah. We thought Flynn Downs was going to be that, didn't we? Let's be fair.
Yeah, we was hoping. It was a good punt on Flynn Downs.
We was hoping he was going to be the next Scotty Parker stroke.
Yeah, it's not quite.
No.
He's a decent player and probably at championship level for me. That's it. But it's funny because I watch all that highlights here, 25 minutes every game, and I watch 2 or 3 full games of every round, right?
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of them with my boy, right? And we both concluded, footballing wise, we are the worst team in the league, what I've seen. And I'm watching Southampton playing better football, even though they're shit. They still play a better passing game than we do.
Better football, worse results.
Yeah, they're just not good enough. But my God, they do try to play football. And when I watch under Lopetegui, I don't know what we were trying to play, Geezer, to be honest. It was
Neil's got a question. He says, "Good evening from Northumberland." Yeah. Good evening, Neil. He says, "Good evening from Northumberland. Given the £57 million bollocks at the start,
Neil,
would you really be surprised if we get no one in over this window?"
Yeah, I would. I think we'll end up with something, Neil. We'll end up with something. I would be surprised if we got no one yet. And even if that's loan players, a couple of loanies, and maybe one buy, I think there'll be something coming in good.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I think we need an entire spine, boys, says Ian.
Yeah, Might be right here.
Not realistic this January, so I'll settle for a decent centre forward and a dynamic centre midfielder. Yeah.
Yeah, box-to-box midfielder would be good. I just...
yeah. But then you see...
I could easily go in there, goes up. And
I reckon James Ward-Prowse would fit our system right now. The way Potter wants to play.
I don't think he's up to it. But
mate, I do. I'm sorry, but I do.
No.
I think he would thrive in this scenario. But yes, Ian, you're right. We do need a centre forward. Randy's saying, I would not be surprised, but if Macaulay is in tomorrow, I suspect that the transfer activity will step up. Hopefully, mate. Yeah, I get that. Mandy G.
No, well, if he's an analyst, goes, he's already got his player. He knows what he's looking at already. That's his job. You know what I mean? So it's not as if he's coming in, all right, then let's start looking for a player. That guy's got it. You know
coming in and saying, right now, what do you think on this little portfolio I've put together?
I have no doubt, Budge, that he's been talking to Potter for weeks now. Right, who do you reckon? Who do we need? And he's giving Potter names. He's been giving Potter names for a while now. So they might already have a target to go for we know nothing about, hopefully. And we could see a couple of players in the next week.
Yeah. Mandy G's in the house and she says, hi,
hey, Mandy.
Alex Ferguson would not have lasted 15 games.
You're fucking right, man. I don't think he would.
You're probably right. Medical Sam, good evening to you. Potter will sort the squad out. I believe that too.
Medical? Is that Sam? Yeah, Sam. Yeah.
Arteta never took off until the third transfer window.
Oh, yeah. They were calling for his head as well, Mandy, if you remember. I think they finished about 8th in the league when he turned up, and they were calling for his head. Yeah.
Good evening, Richo. Thank you for joining.
Hey, Richo. That fucker, he's got Moyes, isn't he? He's all happy now. He's got Moyes. Good win against Tottenham, boys. 3-0 up at half time. Fuck me. Calvert, whatever Moyes did, fair play to him, because if you get as much as I'm a critic of Moyes, one player that really did do well under Moyes, one of them, was fucking Antonio. Really well under Moyes. And Calvert-Lewin, fucking hell, something just landed on my neck. Calvert-Lewin, fuck me, ain't scored for about 16 years. He turns up and has a cracking game and gets a goal.
Yeah. That was probably a FBI drone that landed on your neck.
Fuck me, it was a biter, I think, guys. I just got it off.
Yeah, so it's nice to see you, Richo. Thanks for joining, mate. Mr. Singleton. Robert, thank you. Is it true that Somerville and Bowen are due back? I don't think we have a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, I've been saying that from the beginning, Robert. Let's not knee-jerk it. Let's think about it.
Both of them were on the grass today, and Bowen was basically back to his normal.
Yeah, you weren't just seeing him standing there, Budge. He was, he was in amongst it with the training, so can't be far away.
I see him take a rest at the end of one of the where the others were still moving about. He took a rest, but that's fine. If he can do that in a game, even, then that's fine, in my opinion.
No, yeah, I think we'll see him. If not the next game, but the game after. You probably get to see him. That's a good stuff.
On the other hand, I think he's due back. I think he's fit as a fiddle right now. I think, don't hang me if I'm wrong, though, Rob. Budgie and Cieran, what do you think of Amazon being involved with the club? My friends who work in the city and in finance, stocks and shares are telling me that could be a prelude to a takeover. Well, listen, Colin, if it's a prelude to a takeover, anything's better than bloody Sullivan, that's for sure.
Look,
Amazon, as a shirt sponsor, I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it. especially if you're a West Ham member of their mailing list or something. You can get a percentage off of their subscriptions or something. I'm all for it, mate. But no, joking aside, I think if it is a prelude to a takeover, anything's better than Sullivan, providing there's money there. And we know that Amazon do not want for a quid. So
no, but look, it'd be a good shirt sponsor because we've got to get rid of these betting companies. I think that's been already put down, isn't it? We've got to phase them out of betting companies being part of the shirt sponsorship. So Amazon would be perfect, right?
Haven't we?
Huh?
I say, and we're already seeing eBay on someone's shirt at the moment. Who was that?
So Amazon would be great, mate, because that Jeff Bezos, isn't it, who owns Amazon, one of the richest men in the world, who see with Zuckerberg and matey standing next to Trump the other day in his inauguration. Congratulations, Trump. Bring some sanity back to the world. But when you see him, one of the richest men in the world, and his company want to sponsor, you can get his sponsorship and shirt. American owned, though. Whether they're interested in taking over a club, paying them money, possibly, that'll be all conjecture until
with a company or with an organisation or an owner like Amazon, right? Think of the prospects that could come to the club. I mean, we could literally buy the London Stadium, tear it down, and build a football stadium. Literally,
that'd be a great idea.
Well,
he could afford that.
We can use fucking Wembley for 6 months or 2 years or whatever the case may be. Right? Why not? If Tottenham can do it, then so can we. We can rent Tottenham for a fee every game or whatever. For a couple of years.
Oh, look, you could do it, bud, but the only why would he do it? Because he'll be going, well, it's going to cost me $1.5 billion to do it. What do I get out of it? And which he gets fuck all out of it. So financially, it's a silly thing to do unless you're a lover of the club, which he won't be because he's an American geezer and a big businessman. So it's very hard to see that ever happening. But would I love it? Yeah.
But you tell Lawrence or Wally or Lucas or Gary J, they're American. They could be literally.
Yeah, but he's just an American, very rich fucking American man. Who,
we don't know about his football allegiances. We have.
I've never known him to be a West Ham supporter.
Would it make any difference if he was?
Yeah, but it does because some people just look at business people, look at it as a business transaction. He's giving us money, put down the shirts. It's probably worth it to him for the advertising in the Premier League. That's a good deal for both people. Giving you $1 billion fucking quid, and then he's still got to buy the club, so he's in for $2 billion. But how the fuck is he going to get that money back?
Well, he will. He will. Come on. We know how much money Amazon turns over. Cookie is saying, the thing is, Cieran, what I saw in the first 3 games, I'm confident that this is a proper manager. Something we haven't had for a very long time. Indeed.
Absolutely, Cookie. I think there's been a bit of structure there, and you can sort of see what he was trying to do, where I couldn't see what the fuck Lopetegui was trying to do. So I think you're right. That's encouraging. And I said that, in them first 2 games, the Villa, the first half, the second game against Fulham, it weren't perfect, but Jesus, we could see, the pressing when we needed to. We scored 3 goals. There was good performances. The work rate in that Fulham game was fucking all over the park. And that, to me, is good.
And to be fair, that 3rd goal, the Lucas Paqueta goal, I thought was as a result of great hard work from Paqueta. He fought to get into position.
All of them.
But he started that off actually, and then he fought to get into position for that rebound.
Yeah. It was great.
And I thought that was probably Paqueta's best game in the last probably 8 to 10
The Fulham
games.
game was good. I could. His work rate was phenomenal in that game, and that's when you got a new manager and you see them players putting in that effort. You think, oh yeah, he's got them a bit. You know what I mean? He's got them on his side already because the work rate was there. I think we struggled.
And then we go and play Palace, and it looks like
it just showed you the lack of depth. And you got to remember, Gabe, Palace was the third game in a week, and they did look a bit fucking tired after the Fulham game because they worked so hard. They did look a bit fatigued there, and it weren't so great. So you know, when you're relying on 8 or 9 players that have to play every week, well, you're going to get that fatigue. So. Like I say, I'm not judging one way or the other. I just think it's promising what I've seen so far, like Cookie there.
Yeah. Thank you, Randy. Justin Cliver. He's doing very, very well. Medical Sam said that he'll buy John Duran. Well, that's very kind of you, mate.
Get in there.
I hope you've got 70 million in your pocket, bud. Because, or Isaac. Mate,
I'm fucking not getting that one.
I'd rather have Isaac, mate. If you
mate, it's not who we want there, is it? Not who we can buy. I'm thinking there's a lot I'd want if I could just wave a magic wand.
Is Duran really worth 70 million? I don't.
No, is he? Fuck, Mandy. Not in a million years, is he? But
he's probably worth 40 at best. But you get what you can for him, and when he's in demand like he is. And he is.
Forget Duran is gone, mate. We missed the boat. Last summer we missed the boat, and that's it. I think you fucking forget it. Forget Duran, right? And I tell you what, I got a feeling there could be more problems come with him than he's worth. Yeah. I mean, if you'd got him for 40, it would have been worth it. But now, I don't think so.
Randy's saying, hopefully the Amazon deal, if it went through, obviously, would also help with changing the model on how we scout and sign players, as well. Hopefully, it comes to fruition. Well, look, I mean,
what, we just order a player on Amazon and it gets delivered?
You know what I mean? Yeah, it gets delivered next day. Delivery. Yeah, mate.
Free delivery.
That. Free delivery. Yeah, love that. Can you imagine that? Unwrapping. Like, Diego Maradona or someone, you know what I mean? I'm just using him out of the sky. Jonathan David would be a great strike at the buy. No, he wouldn't. I'm sorry, but I was a big fan of Jonathan David, but after what I've seen and heard from him, and the fact that we've been chasing him now for 4 years.
He's another one, mate. I think he's destined for bigger things anyway, bud. So.
Well, I say 4 years, 4 seasons we've been chasing Jonathan David.
Yeah, well, we get linked every year, guys. I don't know if we actually chase them or not.
Peach and I used to chat about Jonathan David.
Yeah.
And we've had 3 seasons since Peach passed away. So, you know.
Yeah, it's another one. Forget it, mate. I'm hoping, mate, it's Macaulay geezer fucking comes up with a geezer we've never heard of.
Yeah.
And then we can then start judging.
All these weeks. Ain't seen much of you, pal.
Hey, mate.
Hang on, they're talking about people I do. Lawrence, good evening. Lawrence Salmon.
Hey, Lawrence.
I'd rather get championship players having a go and working hard, the foreign ones than having the foreign ones walking around. I get that, Lawrence, and I really wholeheartedly agree. Just look at Jared Bowen, for example. I mean, he came to us as a champion.
Yeah, but it depends whether they're walking around or not. Depends who you're talking. Yeah, in that Fulham game, fucking Paquetá weren't walking around. He
doesn't
run his heart out.
Yeah. Hammer J13, go grab David and Angel Gomez. Need to replace Mavropanos too.
Yeah.
So Jonathan David, I would say no. We've done our time chasing him. Same as Roberto Duran. No, not Roberto. What's he flipping name? John Duran. Roberto Duran's a boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're done chasing. Mate, in my opinion, we should be done chasing someone. We've tried in 2 windows to sign him. He said no on both counts.
We can't
Whether the
afford him
club
anyway.
what the club want anyway, it's irrelevant.
Well,
We've chased him. We've tried our best. Well, now go and get someone realistic.
exactly. When you've got like Villa in a position of strength, Geezer, they don't have to compromise anything. They can say a number and that's it.
If you've got 57 million that you're willing to throw at John Cieran, go and offer Bournemouth 45 for Justin Kluivert right now, and they'll take it. They're expecting about 28 to 30 for him. You go and offer them 40, they'd probably take it.
I don't think you're getting anyone at the moment. That kind of money shouldn't be thrown around until the summer anyway, if you're thinking that.
Trodge, good evening. He says he's running around like a scene from Airplane the movie.
G'day, Trodge.
It's a bad week to give up amphetamines, mate. Alex,
he's not on that blow-up doll, is he?
Yeah. Alex is saying it's not how much money we spend, it's what we spend it on. Last summer, we didn't get too much good players. You're absolutely
right.
Alex,
yeah. Mate, you know, my old mantra goes, I've said it all the time, you live and die by your recruitment.
Yeah.
And when you look at our recruitment in summer, it's like I don't know if even 50-50. I can look at Wan-Bissaka, I can look at Somerville, I think they're good buys. Kilman, I'm still 50-50 about. Tadibo, 50-50 about. The full crew, maybe not his fault, but disaster. Been a disaster. Guilherme, because we've not seen him, looks like a bad buy. Rodriguez and Solera still. Solera, I can see bits, but it weren't great, man, for the money we spent out. You know what I mean? You can't recruit having 50% right. We've done that for too long. You need to be getting 80 and 90% right your recruitment. Otherwise, we're wasting so much money. So much money, man. And it affects you for the next season, what you can buy.
It does, yeah. Matthew Clark said it from day one. Mavropanos not Premier League quality. Tried hard with him, but he's out of his depth. And that's probably
Matthew,
about right.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Probably right. Belgian, French, Dutch leagues, maybe, but not Premier League.
But I'd say there, Matthew, I wouldn't knock his effort. You're right. He does. He tries, man. He tries. I don't think he's there, walking around and being shit. He's trying, but it's just not quite good enough.
I'm wondering if Sullivan might sign and sell players on the last day of the window. Probably panic buyers, and it'll be another fucking disaster.
I hope it's not. I hope with Potter and this Macaulay geezer, it won't be a panic buy because they're in place, I'm hoping there's a bit more structure to whoever we bring in. But I wouldn't expect too much.
Cookie says, striker, we haven't had one of them for over 10 years. You've all been sullied. Look around the eyes, not in the eyes, around the eyes.
Oh, yeah, I know, man. We've not been good at them, have we? Cookie said, we've not been good at some. I think we bought some good strikers in Scamacca and Haller, but we just were wrong managers.
Wrong manager
to use them. I really do.
Medical Sam says, I reckon we will beat Villa next game. Maybe.
Well, that's a big call.
No, Trodge, we haven't signed him. It looks like it's out the window, mate. Evening all from Helen. Good evening, ladders. Just see the ladies beat the
Helen
tonight in the cup. Brilliant news.
Oh, did they?
Brilliant. The ladies beat the Spuds tonight in the cup. 2-1.
I know they lost 5-0 to Chelsea the other day, but
oh yeah, we didn't want to mention that. Nothing doing in January, not good for the short term, but would be acceptable if in the long term. We get the positions in the summer covered, and then it would be okay. Yeah, okay, I see where you're coming from. Has social media put too much pressure on players and managers? Actually, great question, Mandy. And my answer, same as yours, Cieran. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd like to know what a manager and a player current would say about that. They probably say, no, we don't pay any attention to it. We've got media guys that do it for us, blah, blah, blah. But that's not strictly true in all cases.
I mean, social media is a terrible thing for some players if they're, you know, in a vein of bad form. Because these guys use the social media. They know what people are saying, and they get absolutely slaughtered by some people, and it's wrong. But we said it. I mean, if it's one of your players, you don't think he's playing well, fuck me, don't fucking tell him every 10 minutes on social media what a wanker he is. Jesus Christ. You know, don't do anything for his confidence. Not going to make him a better player, is it? He's not going to go, oh, I'll show you. He's going to go, oh, for fuck's sake, look what they're saying about me.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing.
Moment, Cieran. Randy, Steve Palmer says, Randy, Amazon would put us in prime position in the future. Boom, boom.
Well, it's a good start, right? It's a good start. But I just see them as, at this moment, a shirt sponsor. It'd be a great shirt sponsor.
Yeah.
And it might be worth good money for us. That's it.
Mandy says, then bugs go for the neck in Australia.
I do, Mandy. I've had a few bites. Don't worry, I'm on neck. They certainly do.
Let's see if there's any other chat. Trodge doesn't like Amazon or the owner.
Jeff Bezos. That, mate, it's just another billionaire, like all the other owners of all the other clubs, or an all state. What do you want? You can't have a geezer who runs a local pie and mash shop owning West Ham. You know what I mean? You have to be a billionaire to be involved with a club, or a billionaire company that's worth billions. Who else is going to buy these things? If you've got fucking silly nuts there who believe West Ham are worth 6, 7, 800 million, who the fuck is going to buy it?
I just had a thought though, and I've just killed it in my own mind anyway. But Amazon Prime, right? They got their own delivery trucks and delivery drivers, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
At the moment, one of the main, board members, one of the co-owners, currently owns the whole of Royal Mail.
Can't own all of it.
Well, all of
Nijinsky's got shares in that, hasn't he?
That's what I'm saying.
I'll call him Nijinsky. He's like
he owns Royal Mail now. He's the controlling share owner. Kretinsky.
He owns some of it, a bit of it, about 15%.
Controlling share owner. He's got about 64% now.
Who has?
Kretinsky. It went
I don't know about that. Did he? What? You could be telling me something new there. I thought he was a small shareholder in it. But there you go.
He did have 27, like he has at West Ham. Well, now he's got 30, hasn't he? But yeah, it's something like 64 or 67% shares now in Royal Mail. See
that? Yeah, goes up by Epic. See that Adam Webster? Well, when I done that one from each team with Titch, and you done it, guys, didn't you? And then years ago, that boy there, young up and coming centre, he's the geezer I picked from Brighton. You know what I mean? You pick one player from each team of the Premier League. That's the premise of it, guys. And I picked that Adam Webster because I thought he was a future top centre half. And ever since then, he's either been injured or he's been on the fucking bench. He's sort of on the bench now, Epic, for Brighton. He's not quite making the first team. He gets it run here and there. Yeah, I'm disappointed. And that was 4 years ago or so. I expected him to really, really excel. He's not quite done it yet. So could, under another manager, Epic at West Ham, under Potter, could he? Now, Potter would know him very, very well. So you never know, Epic. That could be a link. Could be a link. Webster and Potter. Just don't know whether he's quite made it yet or not, or whether he could under Potter. Maybe.
While he's over there chatting to Webster, you could give Matoma a little nudge and say to him, "Here, mate, what you up to for the next 3 years? Fancy a contract up in London?" I like that Matoma. What a player he is. Reminds me of that Ji-sung Park. Not because they're both Orientals, but because they're similar, devastating players. I used to like him. Ji-sung Park. He's a good player. Anyone better than Sullivan? The Glazers? Well, no, come on. Glazers have already got their fingers in. Man United not getting their fingers in down here.
Boy, be careful what you wish for.
Mark saying that Amazon don't really have a background in football outside of a handful of televised games, and that you could see that increasing if we get sponsorship as well. I can see Amazon putting in a bigger, what do they call it? Tender, for more games, because they're going to want to go as many West Ham.
I think they might. See, Amazon could be looking at Red Bull, right? Because I even noticed watching the highlights of a Leeds game the other day, goes, they're sponsored by Red Bull now on their shirts. Leeds, which I was surprised at. And there you go. Plus they got RB Leipzig and Salzburg. So, Amazon might be looking at that. So, no, it seems to be working for them. They, the advertising on people's shirts, and they might be looking at that. You wouldn't know, Amazon. It might be a way in.
Look who's in the house. Don't tell him your name, Pike.
Oh, mate.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
Oh, mate.
Oh, God, that was not very nice. But, I think we got, I think we've got to get somebody in this window. It's not going to be easy, but.
Who was it? I watched one of Russell's the other day, right? I don't see much, but I did see his, right? He threw up the numbers we'd been linked with already. It's over the 50 mark already now, isn't it? With 50 players we're getting, and maybe one.
Trosh says if you're rich enough, us lot in the UK would sell the crown jewels.
Yeah, sure. Just the way of the world now, isn't it? Especially with football, unfortunately. It's gone to a business and money rather than football.
Well, when you think about it, the crown, I hate saying it this way, but the crown jewel of world football used to be Manchester United. Right? And then they became owned by Americans. And their decline has been...
No, but they put Moyes in charge first to fuck it up.
Yeah, but their decline has been steady ever since.
They went from the crown jewels to some fucking little gold chain you buy in the local supermarket.
Yeah, costume jewellery. That's all they are nowadays.
Art geezer, aren't they? Shit. I watched them the other day. They're so shit. Forget who they lost to the other day, man. Fuck me, Man United so shit.
Yeah. Andre Silva is a Barry Silkman client.
Of course he is, Mark. We're getting there.
We might have to share Wembley with Chelsea. They want to rebuild their shithole bridge.
Yeah. Heard rumours about that, Matthew. Yeah. They want to do a bit of an upgrade.
It don't even have to be Wembley, does it? To be fair.
No, it don't.
We could ground share with somebody if we had.
You got a Charlton.
Yeah. Mind you can't play Premier League games at Charlton, can you? We could always but we could always ground share with Millwall.
That'd be funny.
Imagine that. That would be but anyway, Yeah, they do want to rebuild it, but the trouble is they can't go anywhere. And Chelsea Football Club do not own the pitch.
No, that's right. They sold it to someone, didn't they?
Fans. They sold the whole of the pitch to the fans. So now, when they want to resurface it and all this, that, and the other, they have to send out, I think it's about 10,000 emails to the pitch owners.
They own a lot more than we do, though, guys.
Well, yeah, we don't even own the concessions around the ground. Bezos' girlfriend would be an upgrade on Lady Brady.
Yeah. I think she's a tidy. Yeah, she's a tidy sort. She was in there with Trump the other day. Yeah. Oh, is that the girl, Wally, that Zuckerberg got caught looking at her fucking tits? Because she had a lovely top on with her cleavage hanging out. And Zuckerberg got caught. They clipped him fucking having a look. Fucking brilliant.
Good evening, Wally. Thank you for joining us, mate. First time.
I'm guessing that's it.
I'm going to skip through one or two of these. Right. Neil saying, the problem with takeovers now are the FA has already put the rules in place to protect their darling big clubs. Look how the barcodes have to sell before they can buy. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much money you've got.
All these rules are crazy now. You know, these fucking financial rules are stifling games, even though I think we're spending too much. I don't think anyone can have carte blanche to spend what they want. But the trouble you've got, they were brought in to protect teams going bust. Now, if you've got a rich owner and whatever, all it's doing is stopping you fucking progressing. Like Newcastle at the moment, they can't progress because they can't spend.
Yeah,
it's sort of working the opposite to what it was invented for. It's stopping people progressing. What does it matter if we've got a billionaire owner, or if you like Newcastle, got a state-owned fucking the richest people in the fucking world, all the money in the world, yet they can't spend. They've got to sell their youth. You know what I mean? It's so crazy. They had to sell their youth to fucking hit the mark for the PSR, whatever you call it. It's got to change. It's got to change.
Yep, it has. Mark says Amazon sponsor Napoli and
do they?
But only on the sleep.
Okay. Do they? Well, good information, Mark.
I think let's not get ahead of ourselves with Amazon.
Yeah, I think so.
Shirt deal at this stage, although they sure would have the type of money that Sullivan would be after to sell. We live in hope, though.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Bang on, Ian. Bang on. I don't mean carried away. It's a shirt sponsor at this stage and nothing else.
Better not have a logo as awful as QuickBooks. No, it's just a tick.
I've seen that. It's pretty too bob, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like a Nike tick, isn't it? Howard, good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Howard, Sam, where you fucking been?
Yeah. 10:46. What's the time now? He's been in 20 minutes. I'm 20 minutes behind with the chat. My thought with Cieran is, why would Villa sell a player to a possible rival at the start of the season? We know it didn't work out as such. Yeah, that's a good point. Colin says that we would be using Amazon's data technology systems to find players, he's heard. Yeah, that's true. We just mentioned that. Right. There's just people saying hello and chatting to each other, so I'm not going to put too much of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Cookie, I agree with you. Careful what you wish for. But I'm not that keen on selling that soul to a devil either. Silly. Not Devil.
Yeah.
Oh, he is a cunt, yeah.
He's a strange owner, right? If you could make out a really strange owner at the band, it would be Sullivan, wouldn't it? He's a very strange guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Tiano Barry, 22-year-old striker, 6'4", strong, quick, good in the air, and good on the ball. Plays for Villarreal. Thank you, Colin. I'll pass that on to Mr. Sullivan. Steve says Mavro's out of his depth. It's a shame, but Kilman can't take the defending responsibility all by himself. It makes him look worse than he is, more of a ball player.
I think that's fair at this moment, Steve, because I've always believed, centre halves become as partnerships and they have to work together. And sometimes both can look bad if you've got one that's really poor. And I think Mavropanos has sort of shown that. And it might make Kilman look worse, because that's why I'm 50-50 about Kilman. But you need a good partnership. And I'm not sure they're it, but,
Michael, good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining. Ladies have now got Chelsea in the semi-final.
Oh, God, they just lost 5-0 to them, Michael.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, not really good.
Yeah.
There you go. Rob says, shush, geezer. The women of Chelsea in the semi. That was like, that was 15 minutes ago.
Well.
Oh my God, Colin's saying he hears that Wolves want 80 million for Kuna. Not worth that. No, he's not. He's good, but he ain't good.
I think Cunha is a fabulous, fabulous player, Colin. I don't think any player's worth that, right? Let's get that right. But, man, I would have him tomorrow. I think he's a wonderful player. Fucking cracker.
Yeah. George is saying that he believes that football clubs should be protected under the national heritage laws, not sold off. They are part of communities. That I couldn't agree with any more than I do. That
they definitely are, George. But at the end of the day, these grounds have to be either knocked down, rebuilt at some stage. I mean, a ground can only last so long, and you need money to do it. So who's going to provide that money? And it's usually billionaires that come in and do it. Look at Everton. Their new ground looks fantastic. It really does, and they've moved it. But they needed people with fucking serious money to come in and do that.
Yeah.
So, you're caught between a rock and a hard place.
Cookie was at the women's game on Sunday. He said, we were completely outclassed by Chelsea, but our ladies not once at any time gave up. The West Ham way. That's it. By the way, if anyone's found me bollocks frozen to seat 17B, I'll have them.
Oh, fair play to you. Go there, Cookie. Don't. Me old mate.
Well done, Cookie.
All right. But, yeah, they're obviously outclassed. I fucking nil.
Germany are the only ones that seem to do it properly, says Trodge. I agree.
They seem to have a good system, Trodge, don't they? Seem to have a good system with fans and everything else.
Owned by the fans, every club.
Yeah,
there's a certain percentage that the club is owned by fans.
You can look at that two ways, Geezer. Right? Germany have got a good system. It's probably better for the fans and the club in general, right? I think it would be a better experience for fans if you had the German system. But apparently, the Premier League is the envy of the fucking world. We are the best league in the world, and we attract the biggest players in the world. But why? Because we pay ridiculous fucking wages for these players. I mean, ridiculous, obscene wages for players now, and that's what I think is wrong with the game. Is the players' wages. They're too high. There should have been a fucking cap on them a long time ago. But what they're worried about that, if you put a cap on certain players' wages, then you're not going to attract these fucking players from all over the world. And then your product then diminishes. You aren't the superstar fucking Premier League. Yeah. So it's a catch-22, but I would rather that we weren't that we didn't have all the top players in the world. I'd rather we get sensible with the wages, and then it's more affordable. Then you don't have to charge so much for seating, but for the fans. If you're paying, if you capped it at 60 grand a week, that's it for every fucking player. Instead of this 100, 150, 200, 300. It's obscene, man.
I know.
And that's what's killing football for me. Not anything else. It's the wages.
Dad's Our Job podcast. Good evening.
G'day, Dad.
How are you? How are you? Good to see you.
Doing well, mate. Doing very well.
Howard says, let's start a GoFundMe and buy out Sully. I'll buy a share.
Yeah. Well, we only need, what, 600-700 million?
Yeah,
doddle.
Like that, yeah.
Fucking doddle,
Howard says, naming rights, yeah. The Amazon Soccer Arena London Bowl.
No.
Right.
The Amazon Arena, though, to be fair, the Amazon Arena sounds quite catchy.
Amazon Arena, yeah. Yes, only if there's loads of half-naked, dark-skinned girls dancing around in grass skirts. That was very, very unpolitically correct, wasn't it?
Oh, fuck that. We're not here for PC, goes up.
Nah, true. Webster links are lazy. Might as well link us with Dunk.
Dad, I like Dunk. I've been a big fan of him, man. To me, he's another Dawson that's fucking done really well all over his career.
Great point there. He says Webster is shit. I remember Antonio ruined him at the start of the last season. I was right in front of Antonio when he did that. It was brilliant to watch. That's
what I'm saying, Mark. 5 years ago, I thought he was going to be the up-and-coming New England centre-half sensation, and he hasn't quite worked out. Yeah. So it shows you what I fucking know.
You know how I go on about that 3-1 win we had against Brighton, at Brighton, and I went to the game. Yeah. It's the only away game I've been to in this century. No, serious. I'm serious, mate. And it was the goal where Antonio does that turn thing and turns the defender. That was Webster that he did that too. Turned him inside out, mate. Absolutely brilliant bit of movement. And it's my favourite actual Antonio goal, to be fair, because of the way he turned him. And I was there to see it live, I suppose.
Lovely.
Krasinski is also a shareholder in Foot Locker, another name being spouted around as a shirt sponsor.
Okay.
Yeah, but Foot Locker have tried sponsoring a football team in this country before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it Sunderland? I think it was Sunderland.
All I know about them is their store here. We got them here, Foot Lockers. They're fucking overpriced wank jobs.
Yeah, they are.
Disgraceful. They're fucking disgraceful.
You can go directly to a Nike outlet or Nike outlet and buy a pair of trainers for, let's say, £150, right? And you go and get exactly the same trainers from Foot Locker, and they want 175 for them.
There you go.
And you can go directly.
They're a fucking really ridiculous here. Yeah. Ridiculous price. And every fucking thing they make is made in fucking Asia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything. Either Vietnam or China or Turkey.
There you go, George. Thank you, sir. Bayern Munich still give 50% discount on all OAP, children and handicap tickets.
There you go. How good's that? That's good.
It's the way it should be, mate. I mean,
of course it should.
The other day,
of course it should.
I was watching Russ's morning show when we played Palace, when he walked around the stadium in the morning, and he walked past a sign that said concession lane. And I thought, how the fuck is that sign still up? There ain't any concessions anymore. Well, not that I'm aware of, anyway. And they still got.
But do you know? You look at that. That's probably like full crew bit West Ham's hand off, right? He probably trebled his fucking wages just by signing for West Ham. You know? I mean, there's very few massive wages in the German league. I mean, you know, the majority will be on a reasonable wage, a good wage, good, but not the ridiculous numbers that Premier League pay.
No.
You know what I mean? We got fucking Danny Ings there. What's he on, 100 grand?
140?
It's madness.
Oh, no, I think you're right. It might be 100, actually.
It might be 100, even if it's 80 geezer. Come on. The geezer at the end of his career, and we're paying that kind of wage for people. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean?
I agree, mate.
That's why.
Dad's Our Job says, Amazon have an extensive sporting relationship. The amount of live sport that they broadcast and documentaries and films catalogue is huge.
Okay. Yeah, I know nothing about them, geezer, here. They are here, but I know nothing about them.
To Amazon, to Prime, and I've got to be honest with you, you know, they do have a lot of games on, like, you know, not football games necessarily, but they have, like, sometimes they'll have the MotoGP on, or they'll have tennis and golf and cricket and all sorts, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't know about it.
Well, that's why I've got two. There's only two I subscribe to here, geezer. One's Optus Sport here, because it's got all the Premier League and the FA Cup. All right, sweet. Yeah, okay. Another one, if you want Europe, I had to sign up for Stan, they call it here. I presume you've got it there.
No.
All the TV shit on it is shit, right? It's fucking shit. But they do show all the European games. So I have to sign up. I had to sign up for it when we're in the Conference League, obviously, and Europa. I've still fucking got it, by the way.
Yeah. Look, Randy's given us a bit of clarity on this thing in Germany. He says, Trudge, is because of the 50+1 rule with fans having a say in the decisions, which is great model for running clubs in Germany. Yeah. And that's how it is, yeah. Rich West Ham. Good evening, Rich. Thank you for joining, mate.
Good day, Rich.
You are an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a great model, but it's a model that can't happen in the Premier League because you've got these billionaire owners or all-state owners. They're not having that. We're not coming in buying your club for £1 billion and then you fuckers got a say in it. No, fuck that. They're not having that.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen, is it?
Look. Good evening, sir.
Good day, sir.
Long time no see, guys. How are you?
Good, mate. Good to see you. Talked to you for fucking ages, man. How are you?
Mate, I'm not even going to go through everything that's been going on. I'm not even going to go through everything that has been gone. I have been gone for a little while. I feel bad. Russ has been covering everything, but yeah, all well, mate. All well. Keeping an eye on West Ham, of course. Would never not watch that, but just not been live on the content. Are you all right, Cieran, Budge?
Yeah, good, mate.
Yeah, bro. I saw you the other day, mate. You done a little update. It might have been the Amazon thing. You sounded like you were in the toilet.
Mate, we're doing a lot of work in the house, and everything is an upheaval. Everything is an upheaval. So I've managed to squeeze back through into this room and get the microphone all sorted again. So hopefully, it should be back up and running. But yeah, the story on Amazon, I suppose it's just like, listen, I've just done a video on Banzuzi, which is going out in the morning. I suppose it's a little bit of a kind of disclaimer to say that all the news that comes out, I mean, tonight, if you believe everything that was going on earlier on, we were signing Banzuzi, now we're not, but now we're back in negotiations, all that sort of stuff. So again, never believe it until it's actually in the West Ham website and they're holding the West Ham shirt, all that sort of stuff. But obviously we've known for a while about the Amazon thing, or in terms of we've known for a while that the stadium's up for rights. We know that betting companies are not allowed to be in the front of shirts as of, I think, the next season. So that's definitely heading out the door. And I said in the video today, you know, the Amazon thing, I was going to say it probably is actually good for West Ham, but it's certainly good for the fucking owners anyway. We all know that.
Yeah. No, I think it will be a good sponsor to have on your shirt. Like, you can't go wrong with a Red Bull. Like Leeds have taken over with the Red Bull on their shirt. You can't go wrong with it, can you? I mean, Red Bull have got so much money, they invent their own sports, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Promote them.
They do.
I think another good sponsor to have would be Costa Coffee, because they are everywhere. In every corner shop, there's a Costa Coffee machine.
Yeah, well, so a KFC, but I don't want that.
I think the good thing about Amazon is, out with the fact that they'll line the pockets of the owners, they will certainly push the brand, as much as people don't like to hear that. But we live in a modern world, and that's the way that football's going. And sometimes it's like, if you can't beat them, join them. That's just the way that it's going.
Anton, you might know this, and I'm not sure. What is the deal these days with the naming rights to the stadium? Is there still nothing to do with us, or have we got some kind of say in it?
So I think I don't know how they'll conclude it, because we all know the owners want the stadium, but obviously it's the Olympic legacy that have it. But they're hemorrhaging a fortune, aren't they, in owning the stadium? So the owners are obviously clearly stirring the pot in that world, hoping that the Olympic legacy will just turn around and offer West Ham a crazy deal. So I think right now, if someone comes in, I have full understanding that they take it. It won't just all be West Ham, because obviously then, unless I don't know if they could do a deal where the stadium gets naming rights just for the West Ham games, because obviously we know right now, as things stand, they can change the stadium. It can go into a baseball stadium, it can go into a concert, etc., like that. But then that doesn't make sense in terms of the marketing campaign, because if you are, if you go to the London Eye, you want to go to the London Eye. You don't want to go to the London Eye one week when it's called the Amazon London Eye, and then the next week called the Costa Coffee London Eye, So there'll be a deal that will probably impact both parties. However, we all know that the owners want the stadium, so
yeah.
Yep. We'll have to see. So what's your guys' thoughts on the situation? Don't panic. I know I'm just coming in here and
don't panic,
in the back of your video.
At least you didn't come in here and say we're all doomed.
Oh, do you know what? Like, I've not had a chance to go on a live for a while and say anything really, but Potter, we've got to give him. We all know we've got to give him time. And yeah, of course, there was a couple of little cheeky decisions in the game last time out against Palace. I was like, oh, really? But a new boss, a new head coach is going to come in and try things, especially when we've got a depleted squad. So as much as we don't like, or probably the majority of us don't think that Mavropanos should start, and I am the person who will lead that march, right? I will lead that march when it comes to Mavropanos. He's not going to just come in and drop Mavropanos instantly, because if he trains well and he fits the system, then that's going to be. So he's going to try and test him, but now his hand's forced, and he's not going to have him because he's now suspended for the next game. So therefore, his hand's forced, and he's going to have to look at something else. And if Tadebo's not fit, which is a concern, then what have we got left?
We've got one centre half, then, haven't we?
We've got literally one centre half, yeah.
So
and it kind of
Cresswell might get to 303.
Yeah.
But this is the other interesting thing, because I think that if Agard had stayed, I genuinely think Potter would have loved him.
Yeah. I've said that last week, Anton, and Stephen Langham there said that. I think Agard was in the wrong system at West Ham, and he was very unlucky. I just thought every mistake he made seems to get punished. We used to have Dawson, right? He used to make a clanger every game. Every game he fucked, but he used to get away with it a lot, and we loved him, and he done great. I think Agard was playing so fucking deep, I don't think it suited him. Now he's doing really well where he is, and I think he would suit Potter. I think he could be absolutely. All right, I've never given up on that boy, and I just thought he was a very unlucky.
And I see Mark's point there, Budgie. He says 2 left footers, but we all know Potter likes to play that kind of 3 centre back motion. So you can afford 2 left footers, because if you can afford 2 right footers, you can afford 2 left footers. So that's the way I kind of look at it.
And he will. He'll want to play 3 at the back.
Yeah,
it's simple as that. Eventually, when he's got the personnel.
Yeah, and let's hope he can get the personnel.
Troj is saying the Gad went missing so that he could play for country over club.
Do you know what, Troj? I think when it comes to that Gerd, that he was, I was at his game where he got injured against Rangers at pre-season, and that scuppered
Remember that?
That scuppered his first 6 months. And let's be honest, right? Was it the World Cup or the Euros? No, it was the World Cup. Sorry, it was the World Cup.
It was superb.
And he only got fit for like the second game, I think it was, for Morocco. So start of his West Ham career was totally scuppered by injury. And he when he came back, he never came back straight away. So he never, because it was the Winter World Cup. So he never really made his proper debut for West Ham until like February of that year. So he played from February to May, and then last season. And we had him for nearly 2.5 years. So he only played like 1.5 years at West Ham, in and out with different coaches and whatever, different systems. Obviously, he was never going to suit a low block style under David Moyes, but I can't fault the guy. I think he's done well. His messaging to West Ham fans when he left was very positive, and I think if we could take advantage of his loan spell, the problem is I think he want to stay there. I don't think he'll want to come back.
Yeah, I was even seeing Kera doing well the other night in the Champions League,
taking corners.
Yeah,
taking corners. Yeah.
Corners.
Cookie says new manager that instantly shows his hand, talks the way he does with honesty, and he's playing youngsters. Why are we not positive? Come on, you are.
Yeah.
Isn't this what we've been asking for years?
I think we are positive, Cookie. You're always going to get a percentage of the fan base and want to be negative, right? It's as simple as that. Yeah. We need to be positive, but if you've got a squad that, the injuries we've got in this squad and what he's got to play with, his hands are tied. He's firefighting at the moment, right? And he's going to probably be firefighting for most of this season.
There's a point. There's a point in there in the game against Crystal Palace. He brings Orford and Scarles on, and Orford gets the ball in the middle of the park, and he passes it back to Mavropanos, and our midfield looks static, and you hear kind of grumblings in the ground. But I've seen a lot of fans dig out Orford, but you cannot dig out Orford because he played a backwards pass, even though he probably had time to stop, turn, and move. Because the other concern for me was, it wasn't the fact that Orford passed the ball back, it was the fact that every player around him stood still.
Yeah.
So at least Orford was moving the ball.
Yeah.
He was moving the ball.
And
doesn't matter what direction it's
instruction from Potter that
hold on to it.
Yourself, like with nowhere to go, pass it to a more senior, more experienced player at your first opportunity. You know what I mean? Because the younger players are told that. Whether we want to believe it or not, it is true. And the thing is that, like when you're told that by your manager, you do it. And Mavropanos actually, I don't think he was really ready for that ball either at that point, because he got closed down so quickly.
If you've got nothing to play it to in front of you, you make sure you keep the fucking ball. That's one of the first rules. Whether that means a back pass or side pass doesn't matter. You keep the ball, right? And what I thought more of the problem with the Palace game is because of the injury crisis. That was the third game in a week, and they looked, especially the efforts they put in that Fulham game, they looked tired. A lot of the players looked tired and a little lethargic. So I can understand why he brought the 2 young boys on to give maybe a bit of life to it, but they did look weary, man. Which is understandable. You three big games in a week. It's not that easy because we haven't got the rotation that we need. We haven't got the players that we need.
I think that's really clear, isn't it? It's like the squad. Yeah, the squad depth is really It's not great, and that's really that's where other teams are especially under Potter. Like I think that's where the Aston Villa FA Cup game was because they had strength and depth.
Absolutely,
we obviously had a great first half, but the second half it really came down to the substitutions that really won them the game at the end of the day. And, but that shows you.
And we lost
at the end of the day, didn't we? Yeah, and at the end of the day, we've known this for a while. We've known the transition is going to be huge. We've just changed coach twice. We've lost 2 consecutive captains in a row, 2 seasons in a row. Our squad was aging. We've seen a big, massive turnaround of players, and there's still another transition coming because we're going to lose. You could name the players right now. You know you're going to.
Absolutely.
We're going to lose in the summer, and there's another transition coming in this way. So if Potter's the guy that they're going to stick with, and whoever it was wrote in the comment, this is the one here. Sullivan needs to back him, but there lies the problem. Can he keep his mitts out of business? Can he stay clear of this situation? Can he stop doing the phantom bids that he's doing? Can he stop leading us up the garden paths? Can he stop step the fuck away?
On that though, Anton, is there any kind of definitive figure that West Ham are looking to, have available in this window? Do you know?
What, like a player?
No, like a figure, amount of money that Graham Potter can have.
I don't know, and I'm not going to sit here and proclaim to know. We've got a couple of people that write to us in emails that give us information. We've never asked for it, but that just seems to be the nature of what happens when you put your name out there and do this sort of stuff.
Yep.
Whether I believe half the stuff, I don't know if I do. Does some of it come true? Yes. Does a lot of it not? Absolutely. That's why I don't choose to run with it, because I feel like it's like I don't know how true it is. So the answer to your question is I don't know. However, we let's put 2 and 2 together. He's made a £57 million bid offer on the table for a player.
That, haven't we?
So that's what we've got to think. Like that just makes common sense. Like so, there you go.
Apparently, it was 45 plus 12 million add-ons. So it's really only it's only a 45 million bid if you believe the bullshit. Right? Well, I don't give a fuck because I know we're not getting him. So it doesn't really affect me. Right? So it doesn't matter what we fuck, we never get him.
But Cieran, the thing is, we've got such a long history of him making deals, and he's probably offered he's probably offered 45 million over 20 years. That's probably what he's done. But it's fucking
do you know what gives him fucking heart though? This fucker Sullivan, right? If you believe who bought who, which shouldn't be a question, but it was last summer. If you believe that it was Wan-Bissaka and Somerville were something to do with Sullivan, and Full Crew Guilherme are something to do with Stein, then he's emboldened, isn't he? He's emboldened. Go, fuck me, I've probably brought in the 2 best fucking players that we fucking done last summer. And this idiot started, and I know that's what he's thinking. This idiot started and brought in donkeys, all right, and it haven't worked out. So that and leading on to that, Andor, if you believe, right, that McCauley's coming, with Potter, and then you believe this Angel Gomez, they've used a broker to try and get him, where does that leave Steiner? Surely that means he's out the door.
Well,
what is his job? If we've using a broker to get this Gomez in, and he's bought McCauley in, who's a stats man, you would presume Stein was the man to close the deals, but he's not with this. So where does that leave him?
But this is where it all confuses me and throws every situation that you've got in your head under the bus, because why if everything is led to be true that we have learnt from the rumours that's come out, then why the hell is Steiden hanging about? Because he doesn't necessarily need it, unless he's hoping for a payday. And I'm not necessarily suggesting that, but I don't get it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Nothing adds up. Exactly. The only thing I'm going to say, though, on the Banzuzi potential thing is it's exactly the model we should be following. Forget the fact of the one player, but the model we should be looking at, which is a model not just Brighton do, but lots of clubs around Europe do, is they look at the best talent from the non-6 best leagues in the world in Europe. So you forget Italy, you forget Germany, you forget Spain, you forget England, you forget France. You go to Belgium, you go to Holland, you go to Denmark, you go to all these places, and you find the best player in those leagues, and you take less risk in spending less transfer fees. And if they don't work out, there's a stronger possibility of losing less money and earning either equal to what you paid for them by selling them on. But if they do work out, you get a good player that has the potential to earn you lots more money in return for the investment. That's the model that Brighton do. Brighton buy players.
Exactly. And that's the model we should be. I thought that was the model we were going for when we brought Steinen in.
Yeah. And I think
I thought it was the best signing we ever made with Steinen. But
this I think that was the model that we all thought was going to happen, and I think Steinen wanted. What's interesting is if the player like Banzuzi and other players like that follow, it'd be interesting to see if that is actually Tim Steinen, or is it Macaulay, or is it the Potter system. But either way, the flow should be that players like Banzuzi is a player that we should be, or that it could be the starting point to something that we've been wanting for such a long time.
Yeah,
19 years old. If we get the deal over the line, he's 12 million quid. And if he shows any form of promise, and I'm talking like if he has 3 good games and then 10 bad games, we could probably sell him for 12 million quid.
Absolutely.
So
that's just a punt.
Lost. Yeah,
that's not lost money. That's why I thought Guilherme was a good idea, right? I don't know Guilherme, but when you hear about the Brazilian press have been punting this geezer for years. There's about 3 of them, wasn't there? One went to Real Madrid, and you think, wow, this boy is an up-and-coming serious talent. But we did spend big money on him, but we're not playing him.
We did. But there's a really good video. If none of you have ever watched it, we got Tim Vickery on, and he was on with Holly just as we were about to sign Luis Guilherme. And Tim Vickery, who's the Sky correspondent in South America, knew about Luis Guilherme and did kind of professionally warn West Ham fans that he's got is talent, but he's not necessarily brought that to the forefront, where the other lads in Brazil who went to Chelsea and Real Madrid, and I think in particular the one that's gone to Real Madrid, was demonstrating it week in and week out. Guilherme wasn't.
Right.
And Tim Vickery clearly comes onto our channel. And the funny thing is, he came on our channel and the next day was on Sky Sports. However, we must have just got him on the day before. And he said exactly the same. So he states that Guilherme wasn't at the standards. He did think West Ham paid a little bit at the time, but thinks that West Ham are taking the punt on the talent, thinking that they'll bring some money back in the future.
Yeah.
So the Guilherme one was interesting because I think it sounds like we did pay a lot more than what we. I think that was a big punt, and at the time, what Tim Vickery says is Brazilian talent is no matter when you come back next decade, 20 years time, Brazilian talent will always go for a higher price than European talent because it's the Brazilian talent that everyone's looking for. That next, Romario can't even come with Ronaldo or
whatever. Yeah,
Pelé. They're just always thinking that's the kind of.
But
thing.
a punt normally, if you're doing a punt, it's normally around that 10, 12 million quid, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why it was.
Steinen decided to pay over 20.
Well, this is what again.
So
what
you
comes
go
down to who is doing the deals, because if the other thing as well, Cieran, is if he's fucked up so much, then why is he still there? You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah.
I just don't. If this other Macaulay's coming in, I don't see a place for it. I can imagine he'll be out the door, because especially if he's not actually, maybe he's just a guy to go and close the deal. He seems to be good at that. But if you believe the Gomez bullshit, they didn't even use him for that. So you go, wow, what is his job? What are we paying him for? Yeah,
I think it's interesting. I think either way, if Banzuzi can get over the line, it's the way that I think we should be going. If we bring in 4 or 5 with a couple, if we can somehow, if we get 4 real top notch from that league's quality for the money we would have potentially spent on Duran with one potential well-known, like let's say we bring in 4 talents from all over the Europe, and then we bring in something like Jonathan David. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just using it as an example. I think we should be quite excited, but I think that's something like we obviously need to work on our striker. I don't think it's going to take an unheard of. The funny thing is the Muniz link, the Fulham player, the Brazilian Fulham player. Like, I really rate him. And he's not even starting for Fulham week in and week out. But I genuinely think he is a striker that would work well at West Ham.
Mm.
But
that Muniz,
reason, I think there's a reason they don't want rid of him, even though they're not starting him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colin.
What, straight swap for rings, you mean?
Yeah.
Budgie and Cieran, mate. I only came on quickly. I'm going to let you finish off the show. Listen, it's been a pleasure speaking to you again.
Thank you.
Great to see you again, bro. Really good, Anton.
Give me regards to the family, mate.
I will do, mate.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Cheers,
and your decorations.
Take care,
Much
buddy.
love. Take it
Thanks
easy.
See you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
All the best.
And there you go. Oh, there you go. He's gone.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's out.
Colin's saying that he's hearing that we've got no money or not money. We are hearing these Sullivan bids. I don't believe any of it. Sullivan is just playing silly games again with us. He is.
Yeah. Sullivan, isn't it?
All the fucking time. Nice to see Early Doors Football TV in the house. Thank you.
So they.
And Anthony as well.
G'day, Anthony.
Anthony.
Right, I got to slag Tony off. Got to think about something. Give it a go at him.
Well, yeah. Anthony's easier. He's a, he's an Arsenal fan. Not to grass him up or call him out or nothing.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Howard says, evening, Anthony. Thought I saw a pack of pygmy ghosts.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Fever in the car park.
What fucking planet is Howard on? What the fuck's he talking about?
It's because Anthony's like from Bristol, isn't he? And like,
right.
About having a tractor and all this and the other. So Howard like properly got onto the fucking poetic bandwagon and given it all love it.
Pygmy goats.
Fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Best show, deserves the like despite the sweat. I got in a lot of trouble here with one geezer. I know Scottish geezer. I play with a lot of Scottish people here in football and whatever, right? And I used to use the sweaty. Fucking always called them sweaties and that. Shut up, you sweaties, and that. Not a problem, right? They used to laugh and give me shit, right? But there's one geezer who was fucking disgusted. He wouldn't talk to me because I called him a sweaty. He fucking hated it, geezer. I mean, really hated it. It's just a fucking, Cockney slang, mate. Don't worry about it. The thing is, as you have, I've got quite a lot of Irish blood in my family, and I quite often call them. I mean, my family. I quite often say, "Oh, you mix. You always know what you're doing, or whatever." And I call them mix. And
yeah, that's a tricky one, that geezer.
A lot of people find that really offensive. But
yeah, they do.
In fairness, I only say it to my family members because I know.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't take offence.
No. I found growing up, right,
take offence by that, by the way. I do apologise. I don't mean to.
What I found was the Paddy thing weren't a problem, right? Right, Paddy or whatever. Yeah. But there was a lot of times that Mick reference was used quite as a derogatory term.
Yeah, I mean,
you fucking mix, right? It was always seen that way, and that's probably why people arc up about that.
It was quite often associated with a lack of intelligence, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, mate. It was a derogatory term at the time. So yeah, I can understand why other people wouldn't understand that.
To be fair,
you understand it.
I've got as much Irish blood in me as I have English blood, so you know, I mean, if anybody should be offended when I say that, it should be me.
Obviously, Howard. You're trying to get your creative side out, aren't you, with all them fucking psychedelic drugs?
Howard says, I'm a drugged up, crazy artist, Cieran. What do you want, man?
But I used to know, I've got a really good mate, Scottish boy here. He was a professional for Alloa, then went to Leicester, right? He was there when Silly Bollocks are there. Oh, that fucker that's on fucking that wanker that's on, what's the name there? But my mate, he broke his leg and then came to Australia and played for Perth. But he would say to me, talking about people I used to know and be talking, and you know him, he's a sweaty. You know what I mean? He'd say that. He's Scottish boy. You know what I mean? So for him, most of the guys I met weren't an issue, right?
We got
Neil. There's Neil, isn't it? Neil Fitz. He's got Fitzhammer. It could be Fitzpatrick, and he's like us. He's like me, probably a plastic paddy or a real paddy. And he was. It was an offensive term at the time. When people used it, they used it negatively. You know.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
I mean, but the thing was, like you said, when we were on site and that back in the day, it was like, oh, I don't know, go over and have a word with the paddies or go and have a word with the mix. You know, I mean, it was always that way on site.
Yeah.
They never took offence. We didn't say it offensively, and I suppose really as a result of the way it was used around me, I don't see it as offensive, but some people.
And that's what counts.
Yeah.
Mate, I had mates, right, that were black, right?
Yeah.
And the N word was used quite a bit.
Right? Yeah.
To them.
Yeah.
And they'd call you, shut the fuck up, you white honky, and all that. So amongst people who knew it was banter, it wasn't a problem. But outside of that, it is.
Listen, one of my best mates is a mixed race guy. He's quite light-skinned, but he knows his roots from both sides. He's half Nigerian and half Irish, actually. No, sorry, not Irish. No, he's half English.
Do you like dogs? Right, right long.
But I've got a nickname for him. I'm not going to say it on air because I know it will offend people if I say it.
No, don't.
So I'm not going to say it. But do you remember Robinson's jam and marmalade and that?
Yeah.
You remember the golly?
Right. Yeah, I know what you said then. Everyone here knows what you said because most of me are our age.
Yeah, but remember the golly, didn't you? Well, they call him a golly now, but we used to call him something quite different. Well, the second part of what we used to call him is the first part of what I call my mate, and the other part of it is lips, right? So you can get a picture of what I'm calling him, and he actually laughs every time I say it to him. Every single time.
Look, we live in a world now, mate. Everyone's offended by everything. So you got me. Hopefully Trump changes that in America. Hopefully he changes that.
In America, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Neil saying, if I were a pikey, perhaps.
Cookies. That's quality.
Brilliant. I didn't want to read that one out. I got really.
As good as gold, man.
Patrick is actually, because
of course it is. No, of course it is.
Patricks are, referred to as Paddy Junior and Paddy Senior and whatever else. Yeah, it is. And that's why people don't take it offensively at all. But then, there must be a lot
it's a weird one.
Named Michael or Mick, you know what I mean? So why would that? Well, I suppose because of the association that was with it. go full on day tomorrow.
Cheers, Tony.
Let us know how your first day barrier lift went.
I'll tell you what, when I used to go to Ireland every year as a kid from the age of 5, every year, right? And a lot of my cousins, a few of them there, right? And their nickname was Blackie, right? And there's a strange thing in Ireland, and I don't know where it came, maybe when the Spanish invaded or whatever, but there's a lot of Irish boys here with jet black hair. And when you had jet black hair in Ireland, you were called Blackie. That's your nickname. Because there's a few of them. There's like olive skinned. They're quite, dark for Irish people. And they've got jet black hair. And I don't know in history where that came from. I'm going to guess that maybe the Spanish were there at some stage and had a little mix about with the locals. I don't know.
Tony's saying, if you haven't already hit the like button for these two, especially the false Aussie.
Right, you're fucking getting it now, Tony. Fuck off the bed.
He's going in a minute because he's got to get up early.
You're right, I am a false Aussie. I never claimed to be an Aussie, guys. I just happen to be here.
Yeah.
You're all the best, Tony.
Yeah, mate. Have a good night's sleep. Just because you're offended don't mean you're right, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, fucking oath, Troy. Exactly. Doesn't mean you're right. You're right.
Exactly. Even Lynn agrees. Try pulling a woman at the club. Told her Native Americans have the biggest penises and Irish make the best lovers. She said, yeah, what's your name? I said, Tonto O'Neill.
You're in. Oh, man, you're in.
Oh, for God's sake, man. Why didn't I read that before I read it out?
Perfect.
Right, well, on that note, boys and girls, we've been going an hour and 50 minutes. 52 minutes, actually, 53 now. There's still 200.
We're just warming up, Peter. This is just starting.
Yeah. There's still
can only get worse.
5 or 52 people watching. So if you haven't already hit the like button, please do. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe.
You know what I'm not with that. Like, hit the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Every time I tell you, you don't fucking hit it anyway. So fuck it.
You get this bollocks every Wednesday night with me and him, and it's always a bit of fun. So we try and.
Oh dear.
Jim Davison, I think that was Trudge. I've got to be honest with you. I think. Oh no, he says he is chubby. Oh yeah, if you're Roy Chubby Brown, yeah, righto. Bernard Manning. Oh, lots of people have.
Man, I went to see Bernard Manning. Fuck me, he's outrageous. He was, but funny.
Randy.
Outrageously funny.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, I mean,
Stevie.
We got about 6 minutes, I suppose, before I cut off. So anything you can talk about before we bugger off, mate?
Oh, geez, man. No.
Any neighbours you want to feed to the crocs or anything?
Yeah. No, mate, we got my worry is we got a fucking hell of a tough game coming up, mate. Villa away. Jesus Christ.
We have.
With the squad we've got, it's going to be a really tough ask. I don't see us getting anything out of the game. I really don't, the way it is. I just want to see something in the performance. That would be nice, just to see something that I can still cling on to. That, let Potter do his thing and hopefully comes up with something. I mean, he's tough, man. He's really under the pump here with the players he's got to choose from.
Yeah.
And who's in form out for?
I've got a question for everybody. Let me just quickly make a banner for it so that you can
make your banners now.
Oh yeah. Excuse me. Right. Right. So if I edit that one and then I'll go like that. What was I putting? Right.
Right. Oh, and the sun's It's quite cloudy this morning. Goes the sun's just come out. I can feel it on the back of my neck.
Right.
There'll be another hot one. It's going to be hot today, boy.
So that question, question rolling along the bottom there. Gladiators gone. Have we seen the last of football's gladiators? You know, we're talking about players that will give, you know, the skin off their fucking knees to stop a ball from going in the goal. Have we seen the last of them?
We've still got Souček. Souček does that.
He does, but he's one in a fucking million, mate, you know?
Yeah, but you got to remember that the rules have stopped that to a point, right? I've seen so many in the last couple of weeks of great tackles to me. And being a defender, as it was for so many years, great tackles, and they get booked for it. So it's hard to be a gladiator in the modern game. It really is. You need to intimidate the player you're playing against, and you need to put in tough, hard tackles. And you're not allowed to without getting punished for it. So I think a lot of the gladiators have gone out of the game yet.
I think they have, and they're too few and far between these days, and that's the point that I wanted to bring up. I mean, look. Not 5 years ago, we had like 3 players that you would consider really quite tough players in the team. Arnautovic, not many people would have messed around with him. He was a bit of a tough cookie. You know, and I think, you know, also, you know, Ogbonna was quite a tough character, you know, and Souček, if you like, you know, like 3 players that were all playing around about the same time, that were all pretty, you know, like do or die men, you know. And
but
I think there's enough of them in the game anymore.
No, but I do believe the rules have ruled them out. Like Julian Dix now would not survive in this league. You'd never have him on the pitch.
I agree.
We have a load of people moaning about Alvarez because he shows that quality. He fucking good, but sometimes you see it and call it stupid in the modern era, in the modern rules, because you can't get away with it anymore. You just get booked for the simplest fucking tackle sometimes when it's good tackle, but you catch the player as well. That used to be deemed as a cracking tackle. I love doing that, taking the fucking ball and the geezer, bang. Yeah. Now you can take the ball as clean as you fucking like, but because you follow through and the geezer's gone up in the air, you get fucking booked for it. Yeah. So it's ruining the art of defending for me. These new rules. It really is.
Steve agrees with you. Souček's definitely a throwback. Bit of a David Cross about him, that and Bonzo.
Oh, Stevie, I know what era you're from, boy. Yeah, you're right.
Mark Pendleton says John Fashion, who misses gladiators. Of course. Rod says if only Africa had more mosquito nets, then every year we could save millions of mosquitoes.
That's a Jimmy Carr joke, isn't it?
That is, yes. I don't know why I put that up. That was pretty wrong. Make us take the skin off our knee. Oh God. Jesus, man. You can tell I've had a beer, can't you? It's now a non-contact sport.
I'll tell you what, Glenn, go. That's exactly where it's going. Right? It's ridiculous now, and I think football was at its best when it was a real contact sport. That you were allowed to tackle hard. You were allowed to, you know. I always went for the ball. I never went for the man. But if that geezer went up in the air after I got the ball, I couldn't give a shit. And I think we can't do that anymore. We can't. We're not allowed to anymore.
Yeah, thanks for that, Anthony. You'd like to bring that up as much as you can, don't you? When I nearly broke my hand fucking plastering the wall. He likes to bring that one up. They're talking amongst themselves. Steve says, yes, he's a young 54. I was at proper Wembley in 80. Mid-70s was my first game.
About the same as me, Stevie. I'm a young. You're 54. I'm 64, but yeah, I was in the 80. I was at Wembley in 80. Geezer. Yeah, fair enough. Jesus, you. God,
man,
you are young.
I don't know whether you're joking with that comment, mate, but listen, from what some of the studies that I've watched on YouTube and stuff, they are actually trying to implement stopping players from heading the ball.
Yeah,
There's certain groups out there that think it should be banned. So, oh man, you ain't that far wrong, mate.
If that happens, goes up, we'll just pack it up and fucking give it a miss. So,
yeah. Right, okay. So
yeah. When it's about mine.
You're hopeful Potter is the right choice going for. Are you hopeful that Potter is the right choice going forward?
Absolutely hopeful. But I don't believe it's set in stone yet. Goes up.
Yeah, I'm not set. I'm not sold on it yet.
No, but
I like most of what I've seen. So I do.
I think we're all hopeful because he has given us a lift. Lopetegui was so fucking dreadful. Yeah. I don't think he could not. You know, it couldn't have been. It was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And I think he's given us a lift. And I mean, give him time, like every manager. Like we tried to give Lopetegui time. Yeah. It never got any better, but I'm hopefully it will with him.
Damien believes in Potter, and
and that's the way to be, Damien. Until he either proves he's right or proves he's wrong.
And to be fair, if you don't mind me saying so, Damien, sometimes he can be a little bit negative. Like he can look at stuff a little bit negatively. Not all the time, but there are times when he does. And for him it's refreshing to see, mate. I agree with you, actually, Dave.
I'll tell you, Budgie, when we signed Potter, I can guarantee you 80% probably of what I'm guessing it, right? Percentage. A majority of West Ham fans would have rather have had Amorim. Have you seen Man United lately? Fucking shit. Absolute shit. That doesn't make him a bad manager. It's just not working at the moment. So again, like Man United fans, they need to have patience. They need to fucking give him fucking a year or so to bring in what he needs to bring in to make this team work. Right? He's not a bad manager, but they're shit. They're fucking dog shit. So it's the hand he's been dealt. Now Potter, again, I can't judge it. I can't go, he's the man for the job, and I can't say no, he's shit. Let's just give him time. He's got to the end of this season now to try and get some kind of fucking philosophy of football onto that team and that squad and on the pitch. And then when he's had a couple of winners, maybe 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we can judge him at the beginning of next season, Geezer, that 10 games for the first 10 games, then we can really judge him.
All right, I'm going to leave that with you for 2 seconds. I've just got to pop out for 2 seconds. I know we did it earlier, but have a chat.
Right, okay, yeah, mate. This week, very quiet on the Western Front, mate. All the creeks and the oceans have, unfortunately, not had any attacks. Everyone's been good, and there's been plenty of people in the water. But I do suggest to anyone to watch. I mentioned it last week. There's a guy there. I think he's called Mr. Drone. All right. And all he does is fly that drone over Bondi Beach in Sydney. And when you see the fucking tiger sharks out there swimming amongst the people, I used to swim in the ocean all the time, and I look at it and go, fuck that. It's pretty scary, man. Yeah, they're so close to the swimmers, and they don't know. The swimmers don't know they're there, but the drone picks them out very easily. It's worth a look, oh, Mr. Drone. It is scary, but Like I said, most people haven't got a problem with swimming in waters that we've got sharp. And there you go, until it goes wonky. Like I said, we got unlucky over Christmas, losing 2 people, 2 shark attacks, which is usually a year. Normally, we average about 2 fatals a year. But we had it all in sort of 1 week or so.
Koala bear watch?
You can watch them all fucking day. They don't go anywhere.
Earlier on, Howard was asking for a beaver watch. Yeah, the only thing is, though, he can't actually talk about that on here because he get done for being a bloody voyeur or something. Oh, what's my favourite vegetable? Hello, Charlie. Charlie Walsh is in the house. What's my favourite vegetable? Oh, potato. Has to be potato. Look, Charlie Walsh on the food straight away.
Charlie boy. CW, yeah. Fuck me, yeah. Back to food.
I love it. I love it.
And if you haven't, I mean, my old mate CW, he's on Analytics United now. He's hosting that show, or part hosting with other guys. That's really good. Well, if you want to know the analytics of football, go and watch him. Yeah. Fucking quality.
Potatoes are a classic, to be fair. Yeah, multi-use, absolutely right, Charlie, absolutely right. Oh, hang on, other people are getting in on it.
They always fucking do. This is what CW does. He changes any stream into fucking food. He's always done it.
His favourite is Budgie.
Good to see you, CW.
To see you in the chat, man. Fucking hell, mate. It's been a long time.
I think I've known Charlie, right, longer than anyone else on him and Wally. Longer than anyone else we've done YouTube for the last sort of 6 years or so.
Yeah, because you did a bit of American Hammers and stuff with them, didn't you?
Yeah, when we used to go on American Hammers TV and whatever. Yeah, top.
Yeah.
But it was so good. You know what American Hammers used to be ending the stream?
Yeah.
Charlie Walsh would fucking change it to food and we'd go on for another hour. It's so good.
Brilliant. Old man says he likes a nice pear.
That's meant to be P-E-A-I.
Yeah. Yeah, too long, Budgie, too long. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
Damien.
Yeah. Analyse that shit.
Oh, yes. Trodge, partial to sweet potato as well. And me too, mate. Actually, I
don't mind a bit of that.
I do like a sweet potato, normal potato, and Swede mash. I think that's brilliant with a bit of
Jesus, do you know what I've done? I CW know this. Do you know what I've done in the last month that I've never, ever done before? I've always never liked cheese, right? Never liked cheese. And up to a month ago, right, I'd never, ever had a pizza.
Really?
Never. And I loved the smell of them. I loved the look of a pizza. And I wouldn't do it because in my head, I didn't like cheese, right? But my boy got this one from an independent pizza place here the other week, a month ago. And it smelled lovely. It was all meat all over it. Fucking, and oh man, I just so much wanted it. The next week, he was ordering that pizza. I said, no, we're having it. I'm having it. And he ordered a pizza, and I fucking ate it. First time in my life. And I went, wow, it was all right. I just ignored the cheese and ate it. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Really nice pizza. And
my mum, God rest her soul, bless her. Years ago, she would tell us all that putting cheese onto bread and toasting it under the grill was a waste of good cheese, and that she would never eat cooked cheese and this and that. And then one day, my mum was going to be late home. So I said to my dad that I would cook dinner, right? And I cooked a lasagna from scratch. All, the proper ingredients, because you never had jars and that back then. And I cooked this lasagna, and my mum come home and she tucked into it, and she was like, "Oh, this is really nice. What is it?" I said, "Well, it's lasagna, Mum." And she goes, "Well, what's this, like, creamy sauce?" I said, "No, that's melted cheese, Mum." She's like, "No, it isn't. Don't lie to me." I said, "It's melted cheese, Mum." And do you know what? From that day on, she started eating anything with melted cheese on.
All right, there you go.
Weird, mate.
Well, it was a real turning point for me, guys. I've had it about 4 times since.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I still wouldn't eat cheese on its own, guys. I wouldn't, I've got no interest in it.
No.
But in this pizza, I thought it was, I'll have it.
So you're not going to go and order a 4 cheese pizza then? You're just going to have
I wouldn't. No. I wouldn't even have a cheese platter or anything like that. But at least I've found, because I always loved the look of pizza, I loved the smell of it, and I couldn't eat it. But I've now broke that. It took me 64 fucking years, but I got there, and I'm eating pizza. There you go. But I must say, this place, it isn't your fucking Domino's or whatever. This place is really loaded, the top of the pizza with meat and fucking. So it might be because it's a really good pizza place as well. That helps. I don't know. Anyway, right, well done, CW. You've done it again.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? So Steve says, "Don't like cheese. Weird. Don't think anything is ruined with the addition of cheese."
Yeah, I know, Steve. And it used to piss me off all through my life, right? I see some of these massive, beautiful dishes and that in cheese. And since the cheese thing, I don't think it was a psychological thing more than actual taste. I just went, no, not having it. That's it. I think it was in my head more than it was. Just, obviously, I ate it when I was young, didn't like it. And that was it. Made my mind up. I'm a bit like that. Yeah, he's there. He's there, CW. It is now, man. No.
Trudge goes on to say that too much cheese can ruin anything.
I'd imagine so.
I agree with that. Unless you're having like 4 cheese pizza and then there's not enough cheese on it.
I couldn't do that.
But there you go. Purple sprouting broccoli, because Anthony mentioned broccoli earlier.
Yeah, I do like a bit of broccoli myself, to be honest.
Yeah, loving life with Potter, not going to lie, says Charlie. Well, we all are. And Howard says, loving the Analytics United work, Charlie. I have to be honest.
There you go. Howard's on it. Howard's on it, man.
Every time I look at it, he's never on it, so I don't bother watching the whole thing.
No, I've caught him a couple of times, geezer, but he don't fucking change the food on there, though, does he? No, a bit more professional.
Yeah, he's got to be, isn't he?
Well, that's good, because you need things like that, and we're not professional. We just talk shit.
Yeah. Hang on, they're all talking. Right, Cieran has entered the next stage of life. He's living a post-pizza world. You love it.
I know. I'm even thinking of getting it tonight, geezer, now we're talking about it. You might have got me going, yeah. The boy would be delighted. He'll come just fucking order a pizza.
He likes the pizza, does he?
Oh, he does, yeah. I have to cook for the fucker every night, so it's a nice break for me when we do get a takeaway, which is not often. Once a week we'll do it. But there you go. Yeah.
Mark says you can't beat a good meat feast.
We take that 2 ways, that one, Mark.
No, yeah. He means meat feast pizza, mate.
Oh, what he's up to, that boy.
Charlie wants to know, what's your next topping on your pizza adventure?
Well, that's it. There is no adventure in it, CW. mate, the one he orders, and it's a meat. I'd imagine you'd call it a meat lovers in the what's the name, but it's fucking solid with chicken and all sorts, and chorizo, and it's nice. It's just really nice. That's it. That's it. I'm not. He says, "Do you want to try something different?" Last week, I went, "Nah, nah. I know I like this, so I'm fucking sticking to it. Nothing else."
Don't swim down the Thames and don't fucking eat it.
Yeah. It's not. You don't fix anything that's not broken. I like this. That's it. I'm not adventurous enough to try anything else.
Yeah, here's one for you, Charlie. I like the double decadence absolute banger from Domino's. That for me is the pizza. Double decadence, so it's got two thin crust pizza bases with a cheese sauce in between them.
Oof. No, that would be mate.
And then you have your pizza on top, and it's called the absolute banger, and it's got jalapeno and I love it, mate. I fucking love it. Pineapple does not belong anywhere near a pizza, Neil.
It wouldn't bother me, guys, because I don't mind pineapple. If it was on there, I'd fucking eat it. So.
And this is breaking news. West Ham haven't signed anyone, but Cieran now loves pizza, according to Sky Sports News.
I'll tell you what, in this house, Anthony, it is big fucking news. You know what I mean? It's fucking, my boy is fucking astounding that I've fucking done. He went 20 odd years of his life, me knowing I need pizza and fucking, or anything to do with cheese, and now I'm doing it. He's amazed. Absolutely amazed.
So, Charlie, you.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me. Wouldn't bother me to pineapple on a pizza.
I don't like pineapple, but he'll have it on a pizza. You heathen.
Yeah.
Chicken with crunchy peanut butter topping. Wow. On a pizza. Chicken and peanut butter. Wow. Yeah, Damien says, don't believe anything Sky Sports.
I got a funny feeling me fucking eating pizza's not going to be on there, though.
Yeah. See, they're the two lads that I've... In fact, do you know what, Charlie? Here's the thing. Let me know in the chat. If you're available next week, why don't you come on with me and the old fella here? The old fella.
No, yeah, but we're not starting with food, CW. Leave that to the end.
No doubt we get round to it, but yeah, we won't start with it.
Yeah, it'd be good to have you on, CW. That'd be good to see you again. Yeah. Plus, his hair looks good lately. He's really sort of, I think he's trimmed it up. I think he's been to the hairdressers and that, and tidy up for his new job at Leeds United.
Oh, right. And also because the missus has had a word with him.
Have you ever met anyone who can grow a beard in a day? At CW?
No, actually, I can't say I have.
He shaves it off, right? A day later, he's got it back. Mental.
Yeah. What's that? Quattro Stagion. Oh, 4 cheese. Got to be in it.
Oh, it's got to be, isn't it?
Got to be in it.
I think whatever you make, if you enjoy it, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay. So Randy's asking, what is your favourite takeaway?
Well, I must say that pizza is becoming wonderful, to be honest. But we do it once a week here, Randy. It's giving me a break from fucking cooking, right? And I just say to the boy, right, what do you want? Tonight's the night. What are we having? And it's an independent here burger place here. Well, I say independent, it's probably a chain, but it's not McDonald's and it's not Hungry Jack's. Your Burger King, Hungry Jack's here in Australia. They do a lovely burger, and their chips are fantastic. Don't know what they put on them, but I don't know, it's like paprika, covered chips. They're fucking gorgeous. And I do that, and it's fucking filling as fuck as well. It's big. Onion rings. Their onion rings are gorgeous. So now and again, that little treat is probably that burger's my favourite. But honestly, closely to that pizza, I really enjoyed it. There you go.
Yeah. So my favourite.
Every time I do KFC, geezer, we'll do that. Right, let's make a change. That's KFC, and I eat it and go, yeah, I fancy it, and then afterwards I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think my favourite is from a place called Mazza in Crawley. It's a little independent Indian takeaway, but they also got like charcoal kebabs and burgers and all that there. But my favourite meal is from there, and it is the lamb sarg with pilau rice.
Nice.
So good. It's so well flavoured. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
And that it's beautiful.
Bird chirping. I'll tell you, guys, it would be. See, Indian would be a part of it, but the Indians in my area here are fucking bang average, right? Really bang average.
Are they?
And even my boy said, I said, I said to him the other day, I said, fancy an Indian, and he said, mate, he said, I can't eat that shit round here. He said, because he came, woke up. He came to England with me and had the curries we had in England. Yeah. And he went, no. He said, I can't eat it over it. Shit compared to England. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that would be, but they're just bang average guys that we're on.
Isn't it, mate?
Yeah. What do you do?
Here's some suggestions for a pizza topping for you. Kangaroo, koala, and platypus supreme.
Yeah, well, when I see that on the menu, Howard, I'm having it.
Yeah, he's having it, mate. Right. Charlie says you should see some of our live streams we've done. I derail everything massively. Still, don't you worry.
I didn't know you had them, Joe. I'm probably asleep when you're doing this in the middle of the fucking night. But that would be good. That would be good.
I take it you mean about the double decadence.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolute banger. What a fucking pizza that is. Oh, mate, I swear. Pizza is last Italian mama dish. Welsh. Bits on it.
Welsh rabbit.
Oh God, raisins as well, mate. You guys, you're heathens, a lot of you. Order the Hawaiian pizza in Southern Italy. I'm getting out soon. Bongo, you're a freak, mate. You're a freak. Oh, did that descend on scooters? All right, okay. Food stream only next week, guys. Buckle in.
Yeah.
So is that a yes then, Charlie?
Available
to come on then, Charlie. That'd be great.
He's an absolute master at it.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Master.
Yep. Why did they call Burger King Hungry Jack's? Is it a king hating thing?
I don't know. I don't think it's that, George. They just, I don't know. It was just one of them promotional things. They thought the name worked better here in Australia. I think it was something like that. That, you know, the advertising bullshit.
Yeah.
Just said no. Like, Burger King, it's just another burger. So they wanted to make it Australian and called it Hungry Jack's. And they're the same company. It's everything's the same. The colours, everything's the same. So it is fucking Burger King, but they call it Hungry Jack's. I don't know why.
Mark Pendleton says Aussie Five Guys. Now,
but there has on the burger front, geezer. I've never had a Five Guys. I've heard it's good. I've never had one. I don't think they have many.
I've got to be honest. If you go into a store and order a burger and it comes out to you, you get it, you eat it. It's good. It is very, very good. But if you order it on Deliveroo or Just Eat or Uber Eats or whatever it is, right? They send it out and they wrap it in tinfoil. So when all the heat comes out of the burger and goes into the tinfoil, it makes the bun soggy and wet. So it's fucking horrible.
Soggy, yeah. Gotcha.
And you pay 12 quid for a fucking burger that comes back soggy and wet. No, mate. I would never, ever order one of them to be delivered.
12 quid?
No. They wrap them up in tinfoil.
All right. The big news here, guys, and down here on the Gold Coast at Surfers Paradise, the first, and it's Cavill Avenue, which is the centre of Surfers Paradise. They've just opened a Wendy's, the first one in Australia. A Wendy's has just opened there. And they're queuing like 50 metres outside the door to try for the first week. Yeah, everyone wants to give it a go. And we'll see how that works out. Because I remember having Wendy's in London fucking 30 years ago. I thought it was the best burger I've ever eaten at the time. What they're like now, I don't know. I don't know. Is Wendy's still in London, Geether? There's still a Wendy's here and there?
Oh,
do you know?
Fucking loads of them, mate. There's loads of them.
Oh, is it? Right. It still survived. But I thought at the time, when it first opened in London, I thought it was a crack. It was great. But far better than McDonald's or
Have you seen
Burger
what
King.
the latest craze is in the UK now? Karen's restaurant.
Harrods?
Karen's, yeah. So what happens is you go there and the staff are rude to you. And they talk to you like,
I've seen that online, guys. It's not for me.
Me neither. I would be fucking knocking people out all the way to my table. I swear to God I would be. Trod, you're right, mate. Now that Charlie's got
themed restaurants like that, not for me. I've got no interest in it. That's all.
Cieran, Tony told Anthony your favourite takeaway is beans on toast. Is it true? Can we get a VAR check on it?
I don't mind a bit of beans on toast, guys. That was one of my favourite breakfasts, right? You know, when as kids, we used to go swimming at the East Ham Town Hall, guys. I used to go swimming there. And straight after in the cafe, beans on toast. It's the only thing I've ever fucking loved after that, after swimming. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Howard says he's never had Five Guys. I've heard it's good.
No. I know where he's going.
George agrees, too expensive.
Yeah. 12
quid for a burger.
Just two guys.
You only get about fucking 8 chips as well. They're them chunky ones, and you get about 8 of them.
I think Howard suggested something else.
Charlie says he loves a classic cheeseburger with iceberg lettuce, but the order of the stack is vital. So, what are we talking here then? We're talking lettuce on the bottom, because this is my stack. Lettuce on the bottom with the burger sauce on the lettuce, and then the burger on top, and then the onions, and the tomatoes, and then the bun top. What are you saying, Charlie? That's the stack for me, mate.
I like raw onion in my burger.
Oh, hang on a minute. Roger's saying that he used to love Wendy's, but they pulled out of UK.
Right, Troy. Yeah, I didn't know. I had it a long time ago. I loved it.
Yeah, I had to put out of Wendy's once. Dad came.
I don't know if they're still there or not.
Now they're back, but not near me. Oh, right. Okay. Did see a thing about Manzi's Pie and Mash closed in Deptford.
I saw that. Cookie, funny enough.
Oh, mate, that's...
No, and I know that Manzi's guys are in Deptford because I used to spend a lot of time in Bermondsey, right? My ex-missus came from Bermondsey. I spent a lot of time over there. And that Manzi's was fucking the bollocks. When it came to Pie and Mash, that was fucking quality. Mate, I saw it, and I've seen that some of them foodie guys, them reactor guys go to places, went to that Manzi's in the last few years and said it's, one of the best pie and mashes there is.
Yeah.
And it's funny enough, it just came up on my YouTube feed the other day that Manzies is shutting. I went, oh my God, really?
I've got a
it might be the death of fucking pie mash all over the way things are going.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be very rare to get it.
Peterborough, right? And I haven't spoken to him in probably 15 years. But I remember a conversation I had with him once. After he moved up to Peterborough, he couldn't get pie and mash and liquor and that anywhere, obviously. So he done a deal with a local lad who was like a DoorDash kiddie. Like in the early days of like DoorDashing, you know, he had this motorbike, a 250cc motorbike or whatever, and he used to pay him 50 quid to go to London on his bike, pick up pie and mash for him, and bring it back to Peterborough for him. And it used to cost him 50 quid plus the pie and mash and whatever else he had. I mean, that's fucking mad, isn't it? Isn't that mental? Paying somebody to drive all that way to go and get mate.
I was never,
Make it yourself, I say.
Pie and mash, it's not gourmet food, but it's a nice fucking comfort food, mate. I always liked it. It's nice to eat.
Mm. So, James saying, when we finally get together for a live show, I'll look forward to the bush tucker trials live on the beach at sunrise.
James,
Mate, listen, Cieran and I actually did meet up in London last year. Or was it the year before, Cieran? That was last year, wasn't it?
I might have been here before. Fucking time flies, guys. I can't remember.
I know, yeah. But anyway, I've got photographic evidence of us together in London. And we were actually talking about doing a live show together, but the fact was that time was pretty tight for you.
Yeah.
I had lots of other stuff on as well. And when we did actually meet, you had other family and that there, so we couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was tough, mate. I was on a strict sort of fucking. The sister was not good at the time. It was basically I only came over to say farewell to her because she was on her way out, and it was hard to make time to do anything really. But we did get to catch up, which was good.
Time together, didn't we? So that was nice, But yeah, soccer trials, mate. Yeah, that's not likely to happen. Damien says I like football. Bacon double cheeseburger for Neil.
Neil.
He had a Wendy. Howard had a Wendy in London years back. Smelled like fish, tasted like chicken.
So you liked it then, Howard?
Yeah. Yeah, Wendy's pulled out of London, and I pulled out of Wendy's, and that was only because her dad came home early. Neil, same. The bacon double cheeseburger XL from Burger King on a night out is a go-to. And you know something? That is the one. The bacon double cheeseburger XL is the... Well, it'd be Hungry Jack's for you, wouldn't it?
Hungry Jack's, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Mark said, who remembers Julie's pantry? And he said, no, I said pantry, not pantry.
Not Julie's panties.
I'm not sure about the carrot topping.
Jesus, carrot topping.
The rest of it sounds good, but I'm not sure about the carrot topping, mate.
Yeah.
But carrots do make you see in the dark, apparently. I've never seen a rabbit wearing glasses anyway. But listen, there's a lot of nonsense going on about Wimpy. Love a Wimpy.
I used to. I used to. Grew up with it, Steve. We grew up with that Wimpy thing. I loved it.
Oh, Charlie says, loves that Budgie. Controversial, he doesn't have burger sauce. Order for me, bottom to top, bun, lettuce, burger, cheese, red onion, bun, potentially ketchup involved. Yeah, mate.
Right.
And actually, ketchup and a hot dog are the only two places you should ever see ketchup. Never on chips.
I always like raw onion with a burger. It's hard to get now, but I always like raw.
Yeah. Steve Palmer says, red onion. What is FTW?
Yeah, red onion is nice. If you get when I was in Spain and that the Spanish red onion, my God, so gorgeous, so sweet, so different, man. It's beautiful.
Mm. Right, okay, listen, I'm gonna have to skip all these comments unless it
That's fucking CW, mate. So the food, mate, you get up for 6 hours.
Right.
That food.
Right. Okay, so Charlie, I'm gonna send you a PM in a little while. Just so that you know. Aussie hot spicy pizza, 6-pack of VB, and you're all good. Says Rex.
Rexy, obviously an Aussie boy there, old Rex. Yeah, mate. VB's my beer as well, guys. I've got you sorted. That's my beer.
Yeah. Cieran, do you remember the golden egg?
Golden egg. I have to think about that. The golden egg, was that a cafe or was that a dish? No, golden egg. That
I have no idea.
No, there you go.
Anthony says he ordered 2 kebabs once. I opened it and there was a pubic hair in it. So I folded it back up and shouted out to the missus, "Your kebab's down here, love." The worst thing, she ate the whole kebab. Oh no. Anthony, you're disgusting. You're disgusting, mate. You're absolutely right. Charlie's got to go. He says, like the video, please, people.
Please, Charlie. See you later, bro.
Right, girls, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for all your comments and everything.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. 2 hours, 38 minutes, Cieran.
Yeah, we pushed it a bit, haven't we, guys? Now it's down to that fucker, though, isn't it?
And
he brought the food in and he kicked it on. In a good way. In a good way.
And next week, hopefully, we'll have Mr. Walsh on himself.
Yeah, it'd be like good to see him if he can make it.
Yeah, it'd be lovely to see him. I don't know what the subject conversation will be. We'll see what the week brings. But anyway, until next
and the week brings lots, doesn't it? We're talking next week. We're very near the end of the transfer window, so we'll have some movement. We'll have lots of rumours. People are in, people are out. We signed him. We haven't signed him. We bid for him. We haven't bid for him. It's going to be a lot of that, Gazer. Not that we take any notice of that, but we let everyone else do that.
And
we'll just sell.
Believe any of that.
They can do all that, and we just tell them what's happened at the end of it. It's easy. Fucking doddle this job.
Brilliant. Right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you next week. Come on, you irons.
Yeah, great to see you, boys. Thanks for the comments.